Okay, today I want us to learn about the new corporate board for Safaricom and how to apply. We'll do the practicals. We'll do the practical application. Then we see how we can use that board to also build our share portfolio. And if you have any question outside the boards that is on stocks, be sure to put in the chat. There I will be able to go through them. So for those who are joining, we have not yet started. So I think we can go straight in. As I said, today we are going to run corporate boards and how to apply the Safaricom medium term notes, that is green notes. Previously, we had done EABR notes, and there are those who applied, and by now you should have seen your portfolio reflecting the board. It should be EA BBC 2025, that is the board. Unfortunately, it can't show valuation because it doesn't have a price. Once we get the pricing from NSE, now you should be able to see your valuation. But I would advise don't sell in secondary market. For boards, it's good to hold to maturity, as you will see. And these boards, they trade at NSE, not through the government boards platform, but corporate boards platform. It's on the same platform, but the difference is one trades at CBK, the other one trades at NSE, like shares. Only that it's not on digital platforms. I think we can start. The rest will join us as we continue. Just confirm again, you can hear me? Maybe you can show, okay. I think we can proceed. My name's Peter Chega. That's my WhatsApp number, just in case you want to reach out to me. I work with AIB Access Africa. I'm the head of product and head of product development and innovations. Sorry for that. So today let's run what is the new Safaricom tax-free board. Actually, it is a tax-free board. For EABR, the interest attracts tax. So first of all, what is a board? When you buy that board, what are you doing? Ideally, a board is a loan that you give to a company or a government entity. Now, the difference is one is a corporate board, the other one is a fixed income. So one is a corporate board, that is you are loaning money to a company. The other one, you're loaning money to the government. So what we are tackling today is a loan that you're giving to Safaricom. And as usual, when you take a loan, there is usually that interest. If you take a loan with a bank or even digital platforms, you usually pay that interest to that company. Now, Safaricom is taking loan from you, so they are supposed to pay you interest. So in this case, you as the investor, you're loaning money to Safaricom. And Safaricom agrees two things. One, they'll be paying interest every year. It will be semi-annual. That is June and December. June 11th, December 11th. So you should be receiving some money in your either bank or M-Pesa, depending on the details you give to when you opened your CDSC account. It's the same details we are using. I'll come to how to apply board, then you'll understand where now that interest will be sent. So again, Safaricom agrees to pay you interest every year. Right now, they're giving 10.4%, which is tax-free. So it will be paid semi-annually. So June, December, until 2030. 2030, that is, because it's 5 years. So at the 5th year, that is at the maturity, they'll return your principal, the amount that you gave them today. If you're applying today or next week, because it will close at around 5th of December. So the amount of money that you loan to Safaricom will be returned on 5th year in full, plus the interest for that 6 months, leading to December, from June to December. So the interest rate is 10.4%, and it is tax-free. What that means is the interest that will be paid to you, you keep it 100%. So there is no tax that is being deducted by KRA. Nobody is deducting any tax, and there is no charge. Apart from the bank charges or M-Pesa charges to transfer to Safaricom's either bank account or their pay bill, there is no other charge. The only charge now that may be levied is when you're receiving that interest. And again, it's the same thing. If you're receiving via M-Pesa, M-Pesa charges. If you're receiving to your bank, if they decide to pay through EFT, just EFT charges. Just the normal way dividend work. But remember, for dividend, there is the withholding tax. Now for this interest, there is no tax. So this makes it more profitable than even any other savings product. Remember, if you are saving in a bank, there's usually the bank charges, and also I think it also attracts some interest, some tax. If you're saving in money market fund, that is MMF, there's the management fee. There is also, some of them, they also charge withdrawal fee, and it's also subject to withholding tax. This one is tax-free. There is no other charge. So then we come to safety factors and guaranteed returns. These bodies are considered safe because, one, you are owning a strong company that is already trading at NSE, a company you already interact with. You are using their product, you are using their data, you are using their airtime, mobile money, and maybe if you have home Wi-Fi, you could also be using Safaricom. So you are owning money to a strong company that cannot default. The interest rate is fixed. From the word go, it is 10.4%. We'll come to the calculations and see for various banks, when you're running, how much you'll be earning. The recording, Katerina, I'll give you a link to my YouTube channel and also my WhatsApp group, which you can join. I'll share there. So don't worry. But wait until we do the application process. It will be practical. We apply. For those who want to pay today, they can pay. For those who want to pay next week, they can still pay. Once we are done with that, I think you should be able to drop. But I will share the recording. And I will also share the links where I'll be posting. So the interest rate is fixed. From the word go, 10.4%. So if you're running 100,000, that will be around, is it 10,000? 10,400. Then you divide by 2. So 5,200 June, 5,200 December. And it continues until 2030, 5 years. Then on December 11th, 2030, you get back your 100,000. So you cannot lose your capital. That's what that means. You get your principal in full. The only reason you'd lose your capital is when Safaricom collapses or they default. But remember, when they default, while this is unsecured board, they will still pay you. Even if the company defaults at one point, they will pay you. But it is extremely unlikely for Safaricom, first of all, to collapse. You have seen their numbers and the expansion they are doing, unless a major event happens where Safaricom and M-Pesa are split and M-Pesa becomes a separate entity. Remember, you loaned to an entity called Safaricom. That's the only time you would be worried. But at that point, CMA will always give guidelines. But that it's highly unlikely that it can happen. Then you receive interest on schedule. If they say it is June 11th, it will be paid now between June the 11th. Maybe you factor 2 or 3 days, depending on the mode of payment. But remember, it could be oversubscribed. We could have so many people subscribing. So you can give at least 5 working days. If you don't receive, then there is a problem with mode of payment that you selected when opening your CDSE account. And CDSE account here is for shares. There is a CDSE account for boards, government boards. I'm not talking about the CBK account that you open using CSD Do platform. I'll be doing a full tutorial on how to open government boards account and how you apply, you bid in primary and also trade in secondary. For this one, we are dealing with corporate boards, which use your CDSE account for shares. That is when you log into a digital platform or when you request for CDSE statement, you see it as part of your valuation. So that this board is designed to give you peace of mind. There is no stress. It's not like buying shares. Remember, shares you have to wake up every day to check prices. If you are a day trader, if you are a long-term trader or somebody who is looking just to grow wealth at NSE, then again shares give you peace of mind as long as you're investing in dividend stocks. If you're looking for capital growth, remember you have to keep on checking prices so that you exit when market is high, then you look for another counter which is undervalued, you buy, then exit. At that point, you have a lot of stress because any small move in price, you will still be wondering, does this company continue falling in price? For the board, interest rate is fixed, 10.4%. It will never change. Even if government adjusts whatever interest rates that affect other products, this one will not change. It is fixed. If CBK adjusts their interest rates, this will not change. If government introduces new tax, it will not affect you. This is tax-free board. I don't think you will ever get another investment where you're exempted from that. Remember, when you buy shares, while you don't pay tax, you pay brokerage commission and levies. This one, as we continue, you see there is no charge. If it is dividend, remember there is the withholding tax by registrar. You get the net. Here, there is no charge. There is nothing that is deducted. So again, Safaricom is a stable company. It can never default. Interest rates are fixed. And again, competing with money market fund. Most of them, I think the highest I've seen is around 13%. But then that net, 13% is it net. And again, it compounds daily, which the fund manager knows very well. As investors, we don't check. 13 could even be lower than that. Could be around 8 or 9. These are getting 10.4. Nothing changes. When you're investing, if you do your mathematics, the amount that you invest times 10.4%, that's what you'll be getting. So you divide by 2, June, December, the exact amount. Then you can never lose capital. I want you to be comfortable with this. You will never lose. It will not even, if you put 100,000, that's what you get back. They won't even touch a coin. Remember, for shares, if market goes down, your investment also goes down. If you make a mistake and sell when prices have gone down, you have realized that capital loss. Here, there is no loss to your investment. So, interest schedule, as I've said, it's twice a year, June, December, fixed. I think it is June 11th and December 11th. So you'll be getting some interest. For those who applied for EABR board and they're also applying Safaricom, now you'll be getting May for EABR, June for Safaricom, then November EABR, December Safaricom. And this is different from putting that 100,000 into shares which are giving you dividend. Remember, dividend is either interim and final. Most of the companies, they give interim and final, so those are twice, but you notice the dividend is more. There are those that give once, first and final, and there are those who may give special dividend. Like now, if you own shares of Safaricom, they usually give interim. There are times when they make extraordinary profit, they give special dividend and also final dividend. Now, if you invest in both, now you're adding another source of income through interest. So, as an example, if you invest 100,000, in a year, you just multiply that times 10.4%. It's around 10,400 a year. So in June, 5,200. December, 5,200. Paid directly to you without you withdrawing this 100,000. Remember, it's money you give to Safaricom. So they are sending you that 5,200 directly to your either M-Pesa or to your bank. So there are no delays, there is no tax, there are no surprises like you find they have defaulted. These are, as I said, it is a strong company. You are owning your money. For those who have just joined, the Safaricom medium note is a board. You are owning money to Safaricom. They have the projects they are doing. They go and invest. So they have promised you they'll be giving you interest, 10.4% annual, but paid semi-annually, June and December. So the requirements, what do you need? You only need 3 things. One is a CDSE account. The same account you use to buy shares is the same one. If you have opened a CDSE account for shares through either our digital platform or through manual forms, or if you have a CDSE account with another broker, it is the same account. So for this training, it's not exclusive to AIB clients. It's for everyone. If you have any other broker, as long as that broker is allowed to be CDA at CDS, that is, they are allowed to hold shares on behalf of client, then you can trade. I've seen in social media where you find people saying you don't need a broker to trade. Unfortunately, you need a broker to trade. Why? In CDSE, shares are tagged to the broker, specific broker you have opened account with. If it is not a broker, it is a custodian. A custodian would be a bank. So in this case, you may hear the word custodian. Custodian is either a broker who have the trading rights or a bank that holds shares on your behalf, but they don't have a trading rights. So don't be misled by anyone. No? In CDSE, you need either a broker who have trading rights or a custodian, a bank who doesn't have trading rights, but they need to trade through the broker. So there is no way you can trade at NSE without a broker. So that same CDSE account for shares is the same one you're using for board. So if you have an account with any broker, stockbroker or investment bank, or a bank custodian, now you are ready to trade. If you don't have, however, you can open one. With AIB Access, if you just download AIB DigiTrader, you just need to fill in your details. Then you can reach out to us if, let's say, you want to apply the board next week. Once you, because of backlog, but we have cleared most of them. So going forward, there should be no delay in account opening. Yeah? So if you submit your application, just get in touch. You can even send a WhatsApp message to my number. I'll help you get your account immediately. Once you get your CDSE account, don't even wait for your broker account to be active. As long as you have received an email telling you this is your CDSE number, just go and apply. There is nowhere the broker platform comes in. If you already have a CDSE account and is dormant, don't even try to struggle with the broker activating that account. You proceed and apply. You will do account activation later. Remember, in CDSE, they no longer have dormancy. Dormancy is with the broker, just to control fraud. So the dormancy you see announced out there, it's not your CDSE account at CDSE. It is your broker account. And activation is just simple. Just talk to your broker. If they request for activation forms, just fill in. Don't even try to struggle with the broker. Just fill in, send to them, then they will activate. But that does not stop you from applying this board. I want to repeat again, if you already have a CDSE account, whether it is active or dormant, maybe you received an email from the broker, your account is dormant, that does not stop you from applying. The dormancy is in the brokerage system, not in CDSE. You just proceed, When I click on this link, you see how to apply. There is nowhere broker is coming in. There is nowhere your broker is coming in. It's only tagging your CDS so that that board at CDS is tagged to your broker. Just in case you want to sell, you can now go to that broker and activate your internal broker account and sell your board in secondary market. That's the only point. You need to activate that CDSE account. As long as you have your CDSE number, you are ready to apply, irrespective of the status of your account. So you only need a CDSE account and you know your broker. If you don't have one, opening is very simple. Just get into any of our digital platform, apply the account, get in touch, I will help you get your CDSE account. Then minimum amount, 50,000. Incremental amount is in multiples of 10,000, 50, 60, 70, all the way to the maximum. You can apply. You may see outside there people saying there is a maximum of 250,000. Those, the 250 is because you're applying through M-Pesa. There is no limit. If you can do multiple M-Pesa transactions, you can fund your account. If your M-Pesa, maybe you have used and you are limited, let's say you can only do one transaction, you can transfer through your bank. You'll see all those options. Or wait the following day and add more notes. I will show you how you can even add more notes. The other requirement is just have internet, or you can use USSD. I don't want us to use the USSD route. It may look simple, but it is tedious because you have to know the broker code. You start typing your CDSE number, and if you make a mistake, then you have no way of rectifying unless you call the registrar. If you are doing online, it's very simple. The process is paperless, quick, and easy. We'll see that. So why this process is beginner friendly? The board is perfect for anyone, especially beginners. You don't have time to track the market like shares. Once you apply right now, you will only wait either a call between now and 5th from registrar if there is any issue with your application. If they don't call you, you are just waiting for, is it 8th November? We'll see. 8th December, sorry. So 5th December, if they don't call you, you'll only be waiting for an email telling you the notes have been loaded to your CDSE account. From there, your work is just now to invest in shares with the other amount as you wait for your interest without even worrying where the board is. You actually don't even have time to think about the board. You just concentrate now on other investment. Money will start flowing from June, then the other one in December. Your capital is fully protected. You get back your money. This is a strong company you are owning. It can't default. Previously, EABL have taken boards. I think even ABSA, they have taken, and they have paid. They don't default. I've not seen any company, I think it's only one, Chase Bank, but I think they eventually paid. And your returns are guaranteed. If it is 10.4%, that's what you'll be getting annually. You just divide that by 2, and it is predictable. Whatever you do today, when you are investing, the amount that you want to put in, you just multiply by 10.4%. You already know what you'll be getting. There is no brokerage commission or any fee you are paying. As I said, there is nowhere you're interacting with the broker. Unless now you decide to go to secondary market, either you buy from there once it is listed, or you want to sell your board. That's the only time you pay brokerage commission and tax. Yes, there is tax on sale of board. Hopefully on secondary market, they will also waive that. Then you earn twice a year without doing anything. The reason why I've said there is tax for government boards, there is it 15% tax that is held by broker, then they pay. When you sell on secondary market, I believe even this one may attract, but we know once they released. But your interest that you're getting, there is no tax you're paying. And it also gives you a safe starting point before you start. If you are new to shares and you are worrying, if I put my 1 million in shares, what will happen? Put it in the board. Run shares between now and June. When you get your interest in June, now come and put in shares. So before we get to this, I think we can go to the practicals, then we come back to the remaining slides. So let me just open that link. I'll share the link on the chat for those who want to follow along. But remember, if you are doing on mobile, the screen may look different in terms of arrangement of fields. So you may need to scroll down at some point, but don't worry, it is the way the registrar made the web app. I believe they didn't check mobile compatibility. So hopefully you can see that screen. Just confirm. Confirm you can see that screen. Am I audible? Oh, okay. So let me open Fure. So as you notice, you only have 6 days and 5 hours to apply. Minimum amount, 50,000. Incremental, 10,000. Type of the offer, green notes. That means they don't attract interest, because this is an infrastructure board. Then you have payment terms, semi-annually. That's the same thing I've seen. June, December. So every year you're getting 2 payments. The issuer, that is on the left side, Safaricom, they are offering 5 billion with a green shoe option. What does that mean? Green shoe option means if everybody applies and they get 15 billion, then it surpasses with 5 billion, they are able to take that. So basically, they are floating a 20 billion board in case there is over subscription. If there is no over subscription, it's 15 billion. It's the same thing with EABR, only that I didn't tell you. They had a maximum, but it overshot with, I think, with 1 million. So they took everything. They didn't do refunds. For Safaricom, if it doesn't overshoot the 20 billion, then there will be no refunds. You get full allocation. So again, the details of the board, there is the information memorandum. I don't want to open that because it's a very huge document, but pricing supplement I can open. Let me just open, because these have the details. The issuer, again, Safaricom. Status of note, senior and secured. We'll come to what that means. Senior and secured. It's very important you understand these terms. Then arrangers, just ignore, these are just the brokers who are doing the processing. Just in case you want to do manual processing. Yes, you can go to your broker, but the broker will still submit the forms to the three. So it is easier if you do it online and you forget about it. The issue date was 11th, it is 11th December. So that is that now coincides with the payment of interest. I said it will be paid every 11th December and 11th. Then it will mature on 11th December 2030. So we come to very important dates down here. Here. Offer will close on 5th of December. So 5th of December, 5 p.m., you will not be able to access that site. Allotment. Allotment means this is when now you'll be allocated. If you applied 100,000, you get your 100,000 grants. If you applied 1 million, you get 1 million notes or board. Notes, I don't mean the cash. I mean the board that will be listed on NSA. those units will be related to your CDSE account now after that. But you'll be allotted those units on 8th of December. So by 5 p.m., you already know whether you have qualified in full or there'll be any refunds. Then the following day, 9th December, you'll get a notification either on email or SMS. There is no call, it's SMS. Then it will officially be loaded to your CDSE account on 15th December. So between 15th and 18th December, that's the time now the brokers will activate it on their platform. From there, you should be able to see it on your portfolio valuation. And also, if you request for CDSE statement by 15th December, you should be able to see it. Then for trading, it will start trading on 16th December and not on the digital platforms. It will be trading on a platform called Avento for Boards. The clients don't have that access. So if you want to sell, then from 16th December, you can sell. But you have to give instructions through your broker. That's why it's very important you know who is your broker. And the registrar is image registrar. So if you have any issue with your board, always contact image registrar. So let's go back to the application page. Those are our just highlights. So again, down there, interest rate 10.4, tenor 5 years. So there are two ways you can do the application. One of them is that USSD code. And as I said, don't use USSD code. It may look simple, but you'll have a hassle, especially when you start typing. So that is USSD code. Just for those who don't have a smartphone or computer, you can use that. However, the other process is through online application. The link is here. So you just click apply now. So I hope all of us, we are on this page. For those who want to follow along, you click apply now. The next thing, you scroll down terms and conditions. Even on mobile, you should be able to scroll down. When you reach the end, it activates accept terms and conditions. You click accept. So I hope we are applying afresh. If you have already applied and you didn't complete, you can use resume. But this will require you have serial number. So if you started, just check your email, you must have a serial number. If you didn't make any payment, and if you have not submitted that application without payment, don't go this route. This is only for those who have already submitted the application but have not made payment. If you have already made payment, you just come here. So for us, let me go back. It is new application. It will ask you for your mobile number. Please don't put my number, because that board will be linked to me. Then email address, and make sure the number starts with 07 or 01, depending on which number you are using. If you are accessing from outside the country, this is the number they would get in touch with. You can select the country you are in, then put the full number. In case there is an issue with your application, this is the number they will call. If they are sending email, this is the email address they send to. So make sure it is your correct details. Then you just solve your security question. It is a mathematical question. You just quickly do a simple calculation. Mine is 6. Then you click submit. That process is the same for mobile and also on the web. So we are inside the platform. We are making our application. The first thing to note there is the number, where it says, please call the helpline this number. Please note that number. That is image registrar's number. In case there is any issue with the application, that's the number that you call you. If you get a call or SMS from any other number, just ignore. This is the number that should be calling you in case there is any issue with your application. If you want to call in relation to your board's application, don't call your broker. Call image registrar through that number that is shown on that screen. That is the easiest way. Otherwise, the broker will have to call image registrar, call you back. Remember, now you're dealing with a third party in between. You call the broker, give your story, they give the registrar gives the broker the story, then broker relays that to you. They may change that information in between. It is easier you call this number directly. It's unlikely you find this number engaged. You'll always get somebody to assist you. And only call Monday to Friday. They don't work on weekends and at night. So you note that number 0709 170 000. That's the number for helpline. So below, you are supposed to start with the investor details. If you're on mobile, it won't have, it is a bit squeezed, but the screen is the same. Screen is the same. So the first thing is to note your serial number. Because in case you want to edit that application, that is the serial number that you receive. If you have already started the process, you should have received an SMS on your phone and also an email with the same details. Let me just check mine whether it has a serial number. It has a link. That link that is sent on SMS is unique to that application. If you try another application, again, it will come with a different link. That's why it is very important you note the serial number for your application. But as long as you have not paid, you don't need to worry. So you note your serial number. Let me hide mine because I don't want you to use mine. Mine I'm not completing. Then applicant is now you. There are different types of accounts you open at CDSC. There is the institutional and there is the individual. Individual is what you're opening as a person. Institution is a company, LC. So if you're applying this board as a company, select institution. If you're applying as individual, that is Peter Chege is the one applying, you select individual. The name you give here is the one that determines. If you're giving a company name here, then you're supposed to select institution. If you're selecting your name here, then it is individual. Ignore the placement agent for both. This is where you go to a broker, they apply on your behalf. Placement agent is when the broker is applying on your behalf. We are not going through that route. We are applying directly. So you select individual, then you put in your names. Let me just type my name. And you type your full names as they are in your CDSC account and your ID. If you have 3 names, put them the way they are arranged in your ID. If you have 4 names, if you have 2 names, the way they are arranged in your ID, because those are the names that are in your CDSC account. Placing agent, just leave it. For those who are on mobile, just leave the placing agent. You can leave it either as Stanbic, SDG Securities, or you just select, or you just put even XX, because you're the one who is applying directly. Then you put your ID number. Let me just use some dummy number, but put the correct ID number or passport number. And this ID or passport number should be the one that you opened your CDSC account with, your shares CDSC account. Then country, you leave it. Email address, remember we put it when you're opening, don't change. Mobile number, again, we put it when you are signing in, don't change. If you don't have postal address, don't put. If you don't have postal code, don't put. If city is also optional. County, country, just leave it default Kenya unless you're outside the country. But again, just leave it the way it is. Then CDS agent and CDSC number. This is the most important. The broker you have account with. There is the list here of all the brokers. AIB is just below African Banking Corporation. I think it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, around 8. That's why you find AIB access there. As I said, in CDSC account, you have your account either tagged to a broker or a custodian, a bank custodian. If you notice there is B1 something, B to something, those are brokers. The others, ABKC, COBC, EQBC, those are bank custodians. So as I said, you can open an account with either a broker or a non-trading custodian. So for banks, they are non-trading custodians. They trade through brokers. So if you have an account with the IB, select the IB. If you have with any other broker, just scroll through the list, select your broker. Make sure it is selected. If you make a mistake and submit, you only need to send an email to Image Registrar to tell them they reallocate to the correct broker. But you don't need to worry. If they don't respond in time, they may have rectified. But remember, your ID number is the one that you tell where your account is. So it will still be loaded, but you may have some challenges. That's why selecting the correct broker is the most important. Then you put your CDSE number. You don't need to put the zeros. Then you again put a dummy. Then if I click out, it will give the reading zeros. So you just put your CDSE number as it is. Then investor pool, very important. Again, it depends. You selected your who at the top. If you selected individual, then you are local individual, or East Africa individual, or foreign individual. What does that mean? Local individual is a Kenyan. That is your ID and passport can be verified with Kenyan government database. You took it when you're in Kenya. If you have an East Africa ID or passport, most likely they use a passport. You've seen most of Ugandans and Tanzanians, they use a passport. So you select East Africa individual, EI. If you're outside now the East Africa region, then you are foreign. You just put foreign individual, FI. If it is a company again, it's either East Africa Corporation, that is a company incorporated within East Africa, but not in Kenya. So either Tanzania, Uganda, and I think Somalia, those are countries that are within East Africa, or foreign corporation, FC, that is outside East Africa, or local company, corporation, LC, company incorporated in Kenya. So for us, is local individual, unless you selected a different option here. So up to there, I want to go to the next screen. If there is anything you'd want to ask, you can ask. So we go to the next screen. Now this is the application page. This is where you're telling Safaricom, this is the amount that I want to give you. So are the notes applied for, you want to put the number of notes you're applying. So one note is equivalent to 1 Kenya shilling. So you just put the amount that you want to invest in, starting with a minimum of 50,000. So it will load the amount payable on the other screen. If you are doing 500,000, again, amount payable is that. If you are putting 100,000, it will put commas for you. So there is no room for making mistakes. That is the amount that you pay. Then referred bank details, just in case there is oversubscription. Where does Image Registrar send that money to? Remember, referred is not connected to your CDSE account. The board has not been uploaded in CDSE. So they need details of your bank to pay back any oversubscribed amount. Let's say you allotted 70,000 and you applied 100,000. That 30,000 needs to be paid back. So this is where you put your bank. Let's maybe I take Central Bank. I'm just putting dummy bank so that on your side you don't put my details. Then bank account as it is in your ATM. Then make sure the name in your bank, there's investor name. If it is wrong, it means the investor details you gave are wrong. So you need to go to the previous screen and amend your names. Make sure the names are the same ones in the bank. Once you do that, you click next. We are in the application, the payment page. If you notice on the mobile, it may start with this screen for upload supporting documents. Before you go there, You just scroll down, there should be some details on how to pay. So you can either scroll up or down depending on how your screen is. If you are paying via bank, remember I said we are paying directly to Safaricom. We are not paying to the broker. You go to any of your bank and pay to that account. If you are doing PesaLink, again, account number is here and SWIFT code. And remember the bank is Stanbic. It has the branch code and the account name. All the details, they should be shown on your screen. If you are paying via M-Pesa, there is that pay bill number. Pay bill number is 8250-250. Account number now is different. Don't pay to this account number. This is my unique code. Just check yours, it should have a different code. And the limit is 250,000. That is for the first deposit. You can deposit again, but that will come now with additional notes. Remember, this is for the first application. If you are doing via M-Pesa above this limit, you need to add more units. So for M-Pesa, you just go back to application, you put 250. If let's say you want to apply 500,000, you put 250. Then in the payment, you come and first pay the 250. Then you can come back and add more notes. I will show you how to do it. So account number is that, limit is that. But again, you don't need to hassle now typing this number. I will show you there is a shortcut on how to pay via M-Pesa. GPS is for brokers. That is, you have money with your broker, they pay on your behalf. Unfortunately, not all brokers are doing this application on your behalf. They will tell you to go online. So there will be summary of the amount to be paid and pay by. This is where now you need to be very careful. There are several modes. One of them is the RTGS or EFT. You are paying from your bank to this bank account, Stanbic, through either RTGS or EFT. Remember, RTGS is same day, real time. EFT is a 2-day payment. You pay to the first option, number one, bank details. You make sure you capture those details. Mobile money. We have our M-Pesa pay bill there, but don't go through that route. You only need to make sure the number that is shown on that screen is yours. They only have M-Pesa. Remember, you're applying to Safaricom, and Safaricom and Airtel, they are competitors. That's why you can't find Airtel in this option. Then you put your mobile number, then you click pay via M-Pesa. What will happen? It will give you a pop-up to confirm. Once you click yes, pay now, it will process and tell you success, payment initiated successfully. If you look at your mobile number, it will be requesting you to put your PIN. So that is the easiest. Notice I only put my number, requested, I get PIN. There's no way I'm typing all these pay bill and also accounts, and it's only the amount. It's only the amount, and the amount we keyed in the previous screen, because I'm supposed to pay 100,000. So if I put my PIN and I click submit, I only need to click check payment made. There's a button there down, check payments made. It should take a fraction of a second. It should reflect where it says no payments found. It should now tell you the money is received. That is if you're paying via M-Pesa. Don't use this shortcut up here. Number 2, click on pay now if you're paying right now. If you want to pay later, then you can click pay later by M-Pesa. That is, you will submit application today, but you can pay next week, as long as you pay before 5th, 5 p.m. So if you click pay later, make sure you pay before 5th. Otherwise, you will not be allotted that board. The other option is PesaLink for those who pay via bank. You just submit, then the bank usually sends you that confirmation. You need to come in, attach proof of payment. We'll come to that. Then there is telegraphic transfer. You can do that, but again, make sure you have a supporting document for that payment. So for M-Pesa, you only need to note the M-Pesa code. When you receive the M-Pesa confirmation, note that code. There is somewhere we'll use it. If it is bank, you only need to have the PDF file or an image, a picture of that payment. So you can take a screenshot on your phone if you did a Pesa link. If the bank sends you email with an attachment, just download that PDF. Or you can print that email as PDF. Then you come down here. I'll just click pay later because I don't want to pay now. Where it asks for supporting document, you go to the document category where it says select document type. You select proof of payment, if not via M-Pesa. So you note proof of payment you're only uploading if you did as a bank transfer. So then you come and select your document. You select the document, then you click upload document. So once that document is uploaded, you are ready to proceed to the next screen. Again, let me repeat this screen. We have the amount to pay, options, either bank, RTGS, EFT, PesaLink, telegraphic transfer, or you're using mobile money. If it is bank, remember to have the attachment. Once you do the transfer, you come and attach it here down. If it is M-Pesa, mobile money, make sure you put your number, click pay now. On your phone, it gives you PIN pop-up, accept, then click check payments made. If you're not able to get that PIN pop-up, just use the pay bill and account number, just the normal way you deposit, either through M-Pesa app or through SIM toolkit or *334#. But make sure the pay bill number is correct and the account number is as shown in your account. So after you have uploaded proof of payment, if you did via bank, then you are ready to proceed the next screen. But before you do that, you can also attach your copy of your ID or passport. But as long as your CDSC account is okay, you don't need to attach anything else. But if you have the other documents, you can attach. Then you click next. This one now we are supposed to confirm and submit. First of all, there is that declaration. You can read it through, but I don't think there is any term that is tying you. Remember, we saw it is senior and secured. There is a reason why it is senior and secured. We'll come to that. So you confirm the details that the number of units you're accepting is 100,000 or 50,000 or whatever notes, 1 million, 2 million, that the number there is yours and email address is correct. Then the mode of payment, confirm you paid via, if you are paying right now, confirm you paid via mobile. If you paid through bank, confirm it is bank. Then there is that unique code. If you have already made payment, that unique code that is sent on SMS, either by bank or by M-Pesa, you copy it and paste where it says payment reference code. Once you paste, if you are paid right now, just submit that application. If you have not paid, but you selected pay later, let's go back one screen. Let me see if for bank it can allow me to proceed. Yeah, for bank, you can proceed with the application, but come later and put transaction reference code. So if you're paid now, just put that reference code for M-Pesa and bank. Let me see if there is any question. I can't see any questions as I wait for those who have already paid to complete that process. So will we get this recording? Let me share this link. Let me share the link to my channel. Just a second. As I wait for the others those who are following along to complete the application, then we proceed to the other screens. So let me look for that. And take your time before you submit. If you are doing, as I proceed with the training, I'll give you like 2 more minutes. I want to share, for those who have not joined this WhatsApp community, these are usually trained clients on shares, boards, everything about NSE on daily basis. There will be posts on my blog and also on my YouTube channel. So you can always check them. Then I'm not posting the video on EIB channel because it has my personal details. So that is the channel where I'll be posting. However, you can follow any of AIB's AIB social media accounts. So you can just join those two. Let me see, I'm looking for Telegram, for those who are on Telegram. Let's see if I can get Telegram. As we wait for the ones who are following up, who are doing application as we go on to finish. Let me share the link for Telegram. Yes, for those who don't want to pay even now for M-Pesa and also bank, you don't need to pay now. I'm just giving those who want to complete the process right now to just make the payment and put the code. Maybe you can give them 2 more minutes as I take the codes. For those who want to pay later, just click submit application. No? Don't put any code, just submit the application. No? For those who are paying, we are waiting for you to put the code. Then we proceed. As I take one more question at senior. I have a friend who is interested in applying the board. She once bought shares, Safaricom shares in 2010 and sold them 2 years later. She can't remember her CDSC account. How can she be helped? Pass this number to her, 0723384775. Just tell her to send a WhatsApp message. You can share that number with her. That's my WhatsApp number. Any time of the day, when I get the message, I will check and share with her. And any other person who can't remember their CDSC number, that's my number. If you are stuck after this, you can reach out. I'll be happy to help you. And remember, the CDSC number is not dormant. It's only the broker account which could be dormant, unless it didn't have shares. And that would mean now it wasn't migrated to the new CDSC system. And it's just applying a new CDSC account, which takes roughly, if you open and just get in touch with me, it should be 5 minutes to get the account. Can I complete application and pay later? Yes, you just fill in your details, we submit together. Once we submit, I'll show you now how you will come back and complete. Now, you only be coming to put the code, the reference code from the bank, and uploading supporting documents. It's the same process. If you have already put 250,000, and you wanted maybe 500,000, it's the same process we'll go through. Yeah? Let's say you wanted to invest even 1 million and you don't want to go through the bank transfer. It is the same process. Huh? You first apply 250, you pay, then you come back and add more notes, another 250, submit and pay. Come again and add more notes to 50, submit until now you exhaust the amount that you want to invest. Huh? There's a reason why I've said that. Huh? There are clients who may not want to go through bank transfers, RTGS and EFT, maybe because the bank may ask other documents. Huh? Remember, above 1 million, you may be required to submit proof of where you are submitting that money to. If they ask, you can always request for your shares statement. Huh? If you already receive it on email, that's what you share with your bank. Huh? If you don't receive, there is that email you get from image registrar. You can check whether it has an attachment. If it doesn't, you can take a screenshot, share that with the bank. Huh? There is a question: can government report on boards news on social media? Currently 30 billion missing, and this board's money, assuming it was true, would government? It's unlikely the government cannot default on its board. Corporates are the ones we know can default. Government cannot. Government cannot. I'll come ahead. I'll tell you why you don't need to follow social media unless it's a credible source. And the only credible source in Kenya is Business Daily. Yes, unfortunately, Business Daily and other media houses which have their business units, which are on social media. Those are the only ones I can tell you look information from. The others, they just receive from that party post before verifying. You get information, then they drop it down. I would like to remind you what happened with Kengen results. Somebody posted at night, and they have been doing that. Even KPLC, they released at night. Then the following day, it is disowned. They remove the post. Then Kengen eventually says the correct position, just because the results were posted. But they knew there was an issue with those results. It's only that they couldn't disown. They are the ones who gave it to that social media account which posted. When you see anything on social media, go to Business Daily, just check whether it's correct. Then go to NSC and CDSC website. They will always post either cautionary information. NSC will also try to caution investors, but government boards cannot be defaulted. What will happen if the board is about to mature? They either reissue, reopen the same board, use that money to pay the previous loanees, or they float another board to pay, or they borrow from somewhere. For government boards are the most safest investment you can ever have. Government cannot default. For corporates, you ride on their performance. Previous performance. Like Safaricom is a stable company. Just look at their balance sheet. It's the most stable. Even if they are to be liquidated today, shareholders will still get money and they be left with even more money to give out. Look at the companies like Uchumi. They are on negative equity, shareholder equity balance on their balance sheet, meaning liabilities are more than assets. If you are to sell all assets owned by Uchumi, you still be left with a debt to pay, which means what? You also sell shareholders. That is you who is buying those shares. You'll also be sold to pay that debt. So that's what means when we talk about defaulting. You need to check balance sheet. For government, fortunately, they don't default. But for companies, you need to check balance sheet. It's the most important. Forget about the other financials. If you want to loan your money to any entity or even buy shares, the first thing, balance sheet. Do they have enough assets to cover their debts? Remember, in case of liquidation, it's the creditors first. They are paid. Once they are paid, you come to the next category. It's the shareholders. So it means Once they pay their creditors, they may not have anything. Remember, liabilities are more than assets. Nothing left. They actually, you as the shareholders, because you are the owners of that company. When you buy shares, you become an owner of that company. You are supposed to add more money and pay those creditors. There is something I said about senior and secured. Senior means in case of liquidation for Safaricom, it is not the creditors who will be paid first. It is you who owns that money who will be paid first. That's why I said for Safaricom board, it's not like EABL. Safaricom board, you'll be the first ones to be paid once they sell their assets. Then they pay creditors. Then they come to those who own shares, those who have been buying shares. And remember, in shares, there are two types. There is the preference shares and the ordinary shares. The ones who have preference shares are the ones who are first paid. Then you come to ordinary shareholders. That's why it pains me when I see people buying Uchumi, because they don't understand what they are doing. If Uchumi have a debt to pay, that debt has to be paid first before you are paid. In case of, we'll come to that. Hopefully by now you are done with the payment. Let's go back to the screen. We proceed. So if you have already made the payment, by now you should have, if you did with the bank, you have attached, let me go back. You have attached supporting document and you have put reference code. If you paid via M-Pesa, you have put that M-Pesa code. You just need to click submit application. That is the message you get if you put correct details. You have successfully submitted application in respect to these notes. Status will be communicated via email or text message. To which number? The number that you are used. Note, very important, just below the title, there is your name and your code. That code noted somewhere. Very important. Now, if you scroll down, you notice now the additional details. You can print this. If you want to pay later, you can screenshot or print that screen. Those are the details you use to pay. Don't use my details. These are my details. So you are paying to that bank. If you're using bank, that is wire RTGS EFT. That bank account number is there. SWIFT code is there. User reference, it is your serial number, the number that is shown where I said you note it. Make sure you tag that number. Just in case you forget to upload that supporting document, image registrar can use that to relate to your application. M-Pesa, again, those are the details. But remember, you have to come back and put the code. So now, you have applied and you want to add more. So you have put 250. You have paid with M-Pesa. How do you add more? Still on the same screen, it has apply for additional notes. You can click on that, add the number of notes, another 250,000. Select payment mode, mobile money, apply. Again, you fill in the additional notes down here. Now you need to make the payment and come. Once you make that payment, you need to come now and finalize the transaction. You need to add the payment details. So you click, you scroll up again. So you have paid another 250. You click add payment via M-Pesa. You click on it. You can either pay later or pay now. So if you click pay now, again, it will process, submit, but you need to come and put that reference number. It should be somewhere. If you click upload supporting documents, proof of payments, there's one proof of payment. Sorry. Proof of payment without anything. Then you can take a screenshot of that M-Pesa code. You attach. If it is bank, again, you select there, submit. And there are also other documents you can upload, but they are not important for now unless you are doing other payment modes. Once you do that, then you are done. So for those who are requesting if they can pay later, if you go to your email or SMS, you have that code, unique code sent to you. You just click on that link. It will take you straight to your application. You only come and upload supporting documents for you from your bank. So you attach, then you select proof of payment, if not bank, then you click upload the document, and that's it. You don't need to resubmit again. Remember, we submitted our application. So if you have submitted, if you refresh, if it is M-Pesa, you should be able to see payments, the payments you have done. If it's not via M-Pesa, it is to the bank, you see the document you have uploaded. In 2-3 days, 2-3 working days, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, there, image registrar will have validated your payment. So that's how you apply for the boards. And let's go back to presentation, unless there is any question. Let me close that. Let me go back to presentation. So for those who have already submitted, you have already applied for the board. If you have already paid, if you have not paid, image registrar may get in touch with you to tell you to make that payment. However, Monday or Tuesday or tomorrow, when you have time, or after this, you can do the payment, attach proof of payment. On your phone and also email, there is that link that was sent. That is the link you click on and upload the document. Otherwise, you can still go back to that link with your serial number. That's why I said you print those screenshots. You take screenshots with that serial number, your mobile number, email, solve that mathematics, get in. You only need to add now payment. If you're paying via M-Pesa on Nomad, you have the option for paying on M-Pesa. Then you can go back now to the application and put that code. So make sure you put that code. So let me, I think, let us proceed. Then I come back to the questions so that we also save on time. So you have seen it's a very simple process. If you are stuck, reach out on my WhatsApp number. I will be happy to help you. You can also call me, but if I'm busy, maybe I might be helping somebody else. You can just shoot me a message on WhatsApp. So how then do you earn that tax-free income twice a year? So we have said the interest is 10.4%, tax-free. I want to insist on that, tax-free. Why? There are most of us, we usually compare the returns. You go to dividend, you take the dividend yield times the amount you're investing, then you want to see how much returns you can get. You go to money market fund, you take their interest rates, multiply by the amount you want to invest, you get the returns. The same thing here, 10.4 times the amount you're investing, the returns, and you want to compare. As I said, shares, if you are targeting dividend and you're calculating dividend yield, always factor out with the holding tax of 5% if you are Kenyan. If you are a foreigner, I think it's around 15%. Always factor that. If dividend yield is 11, factor out that 5%. The net is what you get. If it is money market fund, there are management fees, could be withdrawal fees, other charges which are hidden, which you can't see, and also withholding tax. Even if they tell you it is net, it is never net. Always check, there are always hidden fees, even withdrawal fees. Here, there is no other fee. There is no fee apart from the bank charges and M-Pesa charges that you have incurred when transferring. We have not been charged by any broker. If you have been charged by any broker right now, just let me know on the chat. Just check your application when it is finalized. If you applied 100,000, that's what you see in your account. So basically, you are getting your interest intact. You don't pay any withholding tax. Like for normal boards, you pay 15%. I think for EABR, it is attracting 15% withholding tax. You will receive your interest 100%. We'll come to that slide. So the way you calculate that interest is 10.4%. That is 10.4 divided by 100 times the amount that you have invested with 100,000. Then you divide by 2. That's what you'll be getting every 6 months. There is an example, but I don't want to go through that. Let's go to the next slide. Payment timelines, again, twice a year. I want to insist on that. June, December. So you mark December 11th, June 11th for the next 5 years. You can put a reminder on your phone, calendar. It will be reminding you so that if it's being paid via bank, you go and check. If it is via M-Pesa, you get a message. Then payment will go directly to your CDS linked bank account or M-Pesa number automatically. It is the registrar to pay you. So when you open your CDSC number, there is that bank account you give, if you give bank account. If you give M-Pesa, that's where it will be sent. If you give a check, unfortunately, it will be sent to that postal address, the same way you receive your dividend. So there is no difference. Whatever you receive, the way you receive dividend right now for any company in CDSC is the same way you receive interest. And there is nothing you need to do on your side. You don't need to call broker, CDSC, or anyone. It is automated. So that's just a summary, giving you how much you can earn from 50,000 to around 10 million if you're within that band. Interest rate 10.4%, paid every 6 months. So if you have put 50,000, the total interest you get per year is 5,200. So every 6 months, you'll be getting 2,600. For the whole year interest, 5,200. At the end of the 5 years, you have been paid 26,000. What does that mean? Basically, when you put money in this board, in the 5th year, it's like you're getting half the return. So if you have put 100,000, 52,000. So 100,000 every 6 months, 5,200 annual, 10,400. By the end, you have received 52,000. 200,000, again, that is the amount. 300,000, that's the amount. 1 million, you have received, like now, December 11th, you should receive 52,000. Then 52,000 in June. So in total, that's around 104,000. At the end of the 5 years, 520,000. And remember, at the same 5 years, you're getting your 1 million intact. So that's just a summary. You can take a screenshot for those who want to take, but I will share these slides on the same channels. I'll also be doing a blog post now explaining everything. So don't be worried. I will share these notes. So you can check where you stand, but I will also do a calculator now that will help you know how much you'll be earning based on the amount that you have invested. And all these, as I said, they are accessible to everyone. That's why I said I'm not posting on EIB. I'm posting on a different platform. So then what happens at maturity on the 5th year? You get back your 100% capital. Nothing is deducted. Whatever amount you have sent today is what you get. So your money is earning for that 5 years untouched. There is no fluctuation. Until tomorrow you wake up, it is 50. The following day is 150. No. If you put 100,000, it remains 100,000 throughout. Only that now you're getting interest regularly. So whatever you're receiving is pure profit without selling anything, without hassle of borrowing your money. It just comes in. So you're just parking your money somewhere safe. You don't worry what interest will be tomorrow like money market. You'll not be worrying what price will be tomorrow like shares. Your money is just earning something you're already aware of. Predictable, tax-free income. As I said, when you receive that money in December, don't use it. Why? There are companies that are announcing dividends in January. Let's go to that screen so that we know which companies are these. Let me just share, let me open that. I would want you to utilize all the opportunities to make money. There's a reason why I'm showing you this, because you need to know why you need to start with boards before you go to shares. Confirm you can see that Excel. So let me zoom in a bit. Hopefully it doesn't zoom a lot. Let me even share that link for those who are on computer. You can also open. So that sheet have company name, the month they usually pay interim, and the month they usually pay final, and for those who do special. If you look at that, ABSA, March, April, they'll be announcing dividend. BOC Kenya, final dividend April, May. BKG, there is a final March, April. BAT, January, February there. Then you go to CIC, DTK, March, April. EABR, January, February. Equity, March, April. INM Bank, which have already declared a dividend. So don't put your money in INM, and I'll tell you why. Put in boards. Because if you buy INM now, they'll be paying maybe in January. You can't apply for this board. What if you apply for this board right now? In December, you'll be getting your interest. Maybe by that time, INM may not have closed books. You can buy now INM and get dividend. Remember, you have used interest to buy dividend. If the interim one is closed, you have the final one in March, April. Jubilee, March, April. Kakuzi, March, April. Kapchorwa, maybe in June, July. Then there is Kengen. Kengen should be around, Kengen, they have already given theirs. Kenya Power, I think they have already given theirs. So that, but in January, they might give an interim if they make profit. And if Kenya Power now gives an interim, if you have shares for Kenya Power now, that time you can hold. If they don't give interim, no, there was a problem with the previous dividends. So again, Kenya Power, if they give interim in January, don't say, okay, Kenya Power shares. You move them now to core dividend stocks. If they don't give, then you need to interrogate why they gave interim and final dividend this year. Kenyari, March, April. Kenyari is the only, Kenyari and CIZ are the only penny stocks I would advise you to buy. The rest, just ignore. Any share below 10 shillings. If it is not Kenyari or CIC, just leave them. Huh? Don't try to touch them. Huh? Kenyari, they give dividends. CIC, they give dividends. The rest, just leave them to speculators. Huh? The people who want to lose money. Then we have Liberty, March, April. NSC, March, April. Hopefully they give. Huh? NCBA, March, April. Safaricom, they have interim February, March. Then Stanbic, March, April. Stanchart, March, April. Co-op, March, April, they have interim. So you can check their book Rosha. If it is after dividend, after interest, you can buy. I will show you. Let me first finish with this. Then there is a total April, May. The rest, unfortunately, I think Crown Paint and Car General, April, May. The rest, it's later in the year. Umeme, actually, I want to remove it from here. Umeme, don't even try to buy. Umeme is an upgraded to me. Don't try to buy Umeme. If you have it, if you can exit with a small loss, the better. Umeme, don't try. Britam, they have not given since 2020, so I wouldn't advise you to buy that. Huh? So let's go to, let me see if I can open that calculator, dividend calculator. This is on my blog, for those who are new to my trainings. For those who are on computer, let me share this. And for those who are joining, don't worry, I'll share the recording. If you are stuck, you can always reach out. That's the calculator I've shared on the charts. You just leave the investor type. I want us to see the dividends that are active. Let me close. It has some advertisements. We scroll down to this active dividend. So KPLC will be closing on 2nd December, Kengen 4th. So you can't buy KPLC and Kengen with interest from Safaricom. But INM, remember you're receiving your money on 11th or 12th of December. Let me see whether it is a working day. I want you to utilize this opportunity and make money out of these. Let me see calendar. So the payments will come Thursday, December, or Friday. Thursday, Friday, or Monday, 15th. So 15th is on a Monday. So what you can do, instead of buying INM shares between now and 15th December, because Bukrosha is on 15th December, that's when you need to have shares. You can even buy shares on that day to qualify for dividend. Apply for EABR board. Let's say you had 1 million, put it on EABR board. You will get how much? Let me see how much it was. 1 million, you get 52,000. That 52,000, come and buy on 15th, buy INM. Remember, this is interest-free money you are using to buy INM shares. You get your dividend on 14th January. So you have received money on December, you have bought another dividend, you get money on 14th January. Remember, on the dividend list, there are those that will be announced in January. Now use that dividend for INM to buy the next share. So what are you doing? You are using with just one principle, which you have put in board to now start building your portfolio for shares. So you receive interest, you buy INM. You get your payment on January, buy the next share, the ones that are announcing January. Check their book Rosha. Payment days this day. Check the next share that is announcing dividend, buy that. My good friends, don't chase prices at NSE. Don't try to chase prices. Huh? Right now, the market is up. It's not the time to chase prices. Huh? It's time to chase dividends. If you want to make money, chase dividends. Forget about the prices. Huh? If you see any noise on social media, this share will go up. Just treat it as market noise. Those are people who bought raw. They want you to come in, push the prices up. They sell to you and leave you with the stock you can't sell unless you want to take losses. That is the truth in the market. Huh? So basically, before I come to the next slide, put your money in this board as much as you can. December 11th, you're getting some interest. Use that interest to buy INM shares on Monday 15th. Don't buy on 16th. Unless you want to buy on ex-dividend, then target a reta dividend, maybe the final one. But if you're targeting this dividend they have declared of 1.5, buy on 15th January. Is it January? No, 15th December. You will receive money on 14th January. That is dividend now from INM. Put in the next share that is paying dividend that have not closed book. When you receive that money, put in the next share. Do that for the 5 years. The reason why I said don't be worried about the 10.4%, your 1 million, you have grown it above this 10.4% returns. Remember, if you have to wait for the 5 years, you have made like 50% gain. Returns, 50% returns for the 5 years. Because if you put 100,000, you're getting nearly actually half and more than that. 50,000, 26,000, 5 years. You also bought dividends which are accumulating. These shares you are not selling. You note the units that you're buying. If it is 100 shares you bought with that dividend, note them somewhere. With that interest, note them. That dividend you received from that share for the 500, you calculate, know how much. You bought another share, note. All those shares get their valuation on 5th year. That is the total return you have gained. You'll be shocked that the 1 million or the 50,000 you put here earned you more than 100% returns without adding any new coin. Yes, you're buying more shares in between, but your 50,000 earned you more than 100% returns. You forget about the noise out there. There are people who tell you, compare the returns from the board and the returns from money market. Just go and tell them, Peter said, when I get my interest, I buy dividend stock. When I'm paid that dividend, I'm not using it. I buy the next one until the 5th year. I have gained 100%. Then tell them with your returns on money market, tell me how much you have gained in returns for the duration you have invested. It is the same thing with shares. When you buy shares, don't try to compare the yield, dividend yield, with money market fund. That's a mistake people make. Why? Because when you receive your dividend, you want to use it. Instead of reinvesting that dividend, it's free money. Note the number of shares you have bought with that dividend. When you get that dividend, buy more shares that are giving dividend. Don't try to chase prices here. Now, accumulate those shares and note the number of shares you are buying. At the end of it, calculate the valuation of those shares. Add to the initial dividend that you received the returns. You notice the shares have the best returns in the investment world. If only you play it right. Boards have the right returns if you play around with boards and shares. So in capital markets, if you try to play around with the products that are there, you can make money, especially boards and shares. Buy boards when you get interest, buy a dividend stock. When dividend is paid, buy another dividend. Continue like that until maturity of that board. That interest rate you're trying to calculate right now, you find you have surpassed your investment. You have grown your wealth far and above. Don't sell those shares. Target them to help you in your retirement. So let's go through this slide quickly. So the idea here is just simple. Use that interest to buy shares. Remember, this is tax-free, you are not paying. Dividend, when you get, yes, it has withholding tax, but remember you used free money to buy. And it is giving you back some more money. So continue like that. At the end of it, you have created a portfolio that in the end, after the 5 years, the shares, because you have staggered, remember you are buying dividend after dividend after dividend. You have staggered your dividends across the year such that every quarter you are getting some money in, maybe in a very huge amount, which may even be above your salary. So again, as I said, when you are targeting now the dividends, because we have moved from the board, we are using our interest to buy shares. You need to focus on companies that pay consistent dividends. You don't want to get into a share like Umeme, which just paid one dividend because they were paid out of court case. They are following the other amount. It will take forever to get that amount. They are dealing with Uganda government. Already they are in elections. We don't know what will happen. They might, even the next government may come and say, we will not pay. Then what happens? But we are still buying those shares. Umeme may be delisted. They said we are looking for other opportunities to invest in or other tenders to apply. They have not been guaranteed, but you want to buy the share. Goes off, prices down. What will happen if it goes to 1 shilling? It will start trading amongst the lowest stocks. Before you know it, they have no business to do. Creditors are on their neck. CMA suspends. So CMA delists. They are liquidated. Remember what I said, balance sheet. Assets against liability. If liabilities are more, assets are the ones which are sold to pay those liabilities. If there is a negative position, that is, they have not even cleared those debts, it is here the shares shareholders to 14. How? The shares in NSE, they are liquidated. It is sold to somebody else. You can't be paid because that money you come and pay debts. Unfortunately, there is nowhere you can go. You can't sue the broker, you can't sue CMA, you can't sue NSE, you can't sue the company. You signed terms when you opened a CDSE account. So when you are buying shares, always check what you are buying. Don't just buy shares because of one-time dividend. As I said, KPLC, check whether they pay another dividend before you hold on to those shares. If they don't pay, now it is a decision to make. If you have made profit with prices, exit that counter, go to a stable dividend stock. Why? You need to check strong cash flow. Unfortunately, KPLC, they are paying their dividend from previous years free cash. So these are things you check. Huh? If they are paying from the previous year's cash, it means that year they are paying dividend. That dividend is not supported by any tangible revenue they made. Is that dividend sustainable? So that's why you check next year. In every financial results, they always, after balance sheet, there is cash flow statement. Always check FCF, free cash flow, because that's what is used now to run the business and pay any dividends that might come up. Also stable business model. People are chasing uchumi. Show me their business model. Uchumi is a supermarket. People are arguing they're in real estate because they have rentals. My friend, that is just a side hustle, which can be crossed anytime. Then there is argument that they are making profit. Yes, because we are in festive season. People will be buying goods from there. The ones who use, I think, is it Gong Road, wherever that those two branches are. And they will come at the January to tell you they made some more profit. But again, from where? Christmas. After Christmas, January, what happens? We have stable supermarkets, Quick Mart. They overtook even Tuskys. We have Naivas, which again it has its competitor already overtaking. The others which are coming up. And somebody is telling you, buy Uchumi. They have staff members to pay salary. They have suppliers to pay. Already they are in debt. What does that tell you? Whatever amount they are projecting as profit will be used to pay those creditors. Again, the next time they are projecting is a loss. CMA have already cautioned you that the next time, if they are not able, if that price keeps on fluctuating, they will limit it to 5%, not the 10%. If again those prices, because I think they may have paid social media influencers to market for them. If again it keeps on hitting the 5%, they are either suspended or liquidated. I've said what liquidation is. The company itself, in their financial results, they have announced profit, but go to clause 9A. Is it 9? 9 point something. The last one. They are telling you what would happen. They have nothing. Even those rentals, they have a case with KDF. You can't win against government. They have already lost. They are telling you, we are trying. So what they are telling you, give us your money, we are trying. But remember, it's not you who is giving them money. You are selling to a shareholder who is willing to get out of that stock and forget about it. Peter will come and tell you, Uchumi, you got to 2 bob. But I bought that Uchumi at 0.2 cents. I'm hyping you to hype that price. When it comes to 2 bob, I self-calculate to you, get out. Then you are out. I wish we had time. I would have shown you that screenshot. I explain what I mean rocking out. Already right now, when you want to buy Uchumi, you can't buy. There is no supply. So what tells you you'll be able to sell? If you can't sell and you're pushing prices up as the people who are buying, when eventually the supply decides now it's time to offload, they sell to you. You sell to them. You will again broke the demand side. You push prices down below the price of 2 bob which you bought, it goes to 0.2. Pooh. You can't sell that stock. You either sell at a loss or you wait for another miracle, and the next miracle CMA have said is what? De-risked or suspend. If it is suspended, those who are in Mumias, they already know what happened to Mumias. Right now, you can't even sell Mumias. You are selling what? They don't have any asset you can sell. Meaning you are selling shareholders. They pay debts. That means you can't get refunded your money. And that's why I'm happy that sale process for Mumias was sorted. It was supposed to be sold, I think, to some sugar company. I don't want to name the name here. But somebody went to court because they knew immediately it was bought. The shareholder would have bought all the shareholders out. Debt is paid, you don't get anything. So there are people, even if you see some of these court cases, they work in your favor. Now you are getting into Uchumi, it is suspended. Naivas comes and says, or Quick Matter, I can see they are the ones who are quick to buy. They come and buy, and they say we are buying out everybody. They must first pay the creditors. Then you as a shareholder, just check their balance sheet. They are negative equity, shareholder equity, meaning you can't be paid anything. Your shares are the ones to pay out, and you want to buy that share. Then the CMA have said, if it's not suspending, we delist. Delisting means get out of it from NSE. How do you delist? Shareholders have to be defunded. But again, before you list, pay the creditors. They signed terms when they listed. Don't put your money in those cheap stocks. If it is not Kenyari, CIC, forget about them. Put in this board, then start thinking about dividend stocks. It's not time to chase prices. 2024, we had the finance bill that was repealed. And where there were other consequences, including loss of life, it helped us. Most of the companies, they were affected because they thought that finance bill would kill their business because of tax. Prices went down. Gen Z, they came in. Even 2025, I think there was a time it was stopped, but it has been brought in. But previously, you had a 2023 finance bill. That's why you have seen shares rise up again. It's because of that 2024 finance bill. Elections don't affect prices like that. Yes, there will be some dip in some sectors that are affected, but not the whole market. So nobody should tell you the market is rising. It's going back to where it was before 2024. Just check. There's a website, stockanalysis.com, which I would want you to always get into it. It has free information. Go to shares NSE, just type Safaricom, it will give you list. Click on the word Kenya, it will give you the all shares. Click on one, go to graph, put maximum, you see the prices. It's not that the market is on the rise. 2024, it was on bear run, prices were down. Right now it was on a bull run. Prices going back to where, and they have moved back to where they were. So it's either market goes up or shares stabilize or they go down based on company performance and demand and supply. So here you are betting. Instead of betting, go to stable stocks. Buy dividend, forget. You could be getting dividend, buy more. Look for stability at NSE. Don't look for a way to chase prices. Trust me, you'll be frustrated. Huh? So then look shares that operate in essential sectors. Why? You need these companies to make profit to pay you dividend. So you need people who are using their products for them to make profits. If a company is listing again at NSE, whether by introduction or by IPO, question what they do before you get to commit your money. There are companies which have been announced by NSE. There is Family Bank coming in through introduction. I've seen people want to go and buy over the counter. Unfortunately, there will be no much price difference. You might find even IPO might be cheaper or might be slightly higher or the same price because it's around 16 over the counter. It might be within either 13 to 18. So I don't see why you should go to bother buying over the counter instead of buying directly from the market when it comes, because that time you know whether there is profitability. If you find people are selling more when it risks, it is the existing shareholders who are getting out. Why are they getting out? You start asking those questions. There you go to their financials. If there is more demand, there is no supply. Know that is a stable company. Why am I saying this? The others which have been floated by NSE. First question, what they do. Is it stable business before you commit your money? Family Bank is on banking side. They usually give their investors dividend. It is you to make choices. They have already announced the results. I'm in the process of doing a blog post analyzing their performance. And hopefully I will also start doing videos now analyzing those companies. So that when you're investing this interest you're getting into Family Bank, you know what you're getting into. So we have said we are first buying the board. It is the most stable thing. Then use that board to build portfolio. So some of the categories you can get Teleco, there you get Safaricom, or banks apart from housing finance. You ignore the noise out there. Or banks apart from housing finance. You check on that dividend list, you will not see housing finance. That's why I said, unless you want to chase prices. Insurance companies with stable payout. Jubilee, CIC, those are the only ones. Utility, you have KPLC and Kengen. But it is the other way. Kengen, then KPLC. Before you get to KPLC, wait for you see whether they will announce another dividend. If they won't announce, then no, that was just for the sake of it. Umeme, forget about it. If it is in your list, just watch the market. When you make a small profit, just get out. If you are not able to make profit, if they make just a small move and the losses reduce, exit, go to a dividend stock, use that dividend to recover the losses. Don't hold on that stock. Otherwise, a lot is coming very soon. Then you go to manufacturing and also other sectors that give dividend. So what do these shares do to you? There is income every year when they announce dividend, maybe twice a year if they are announcing twice. Then most of these, they grow in price. Remember, we are not chasing price. So if you buy today, you just forget about it. When price goes down, buy even more than what you bought today. Why? To do DCA, dollar cost averaging, where the cost you bought today is moved down by the lower price you buy maybe later. And your average cost goes down. That you can get on portfolio valuation. The price you see at the average price. That is not the price you bought at. It is an average price, which includes cost. If you want to see the correct price you bought at, go to statement or orders report. Average price in portfolio valuation just gives you the value of your shares, the correct true value, including cost. So your board interest now helps you build shares portfolio that later pays you dividend. Remember, you're getting your 1 million 5 years to come. That time prices will have gone down. Now come and buy more shares for dividend, targeting your retirement. I hope now you get the analogy why I'm saying invest in board, then buy dividend stocks, get your money in 5 years, buy now dividend stocks. Continue enjoying dividends. Killing 2 birds with just 1 stone. Is it 2 or 3 birds? I think it's even more than 4 birds because you're even recycling. And that brings me to this screen where you combine dividends and board interest for double growth. With 300,000, you're getting 30,000 per year, 15,000 December, 15,000 June. Buy dividend stocks. Those dividend stocks will give you an annual, let's say, assuming they have a bit lower, 6% dividend yield. Multiply by your 30,000, it's around 1,800 extra dividend. Reinvest that. And remember, when you are reinvesting, there is another interest that is coming to buy more dividend. You find you have accelerated your growth in a way that 5 years, when you're getting your money back, you'll have double the amount that maybe you even invested if you are a smart investor who is not chasing prices. So this approach will create a feedback loop for your return. Board generates interest. This interest buys a dividend stock. This dividend stock buys another dividend stock. And that song can repeat to the 5th year. When you get your money back, buy another dividend stock. And the song continues until you get another board that is floated by a stable corporate company. Not all shares you buy. So capital protection and zero brokerage cost, I said there is no cost. So when you're buying this corporate bond, you're not getting into safety, but again, principal remaining intact, you're adding a stable company, fixed income, fixed interest, you get your money back, and there is no brokerage cost. The application I've made, if I paid, there's nothing else I need to do. Broker is not there. There's nowhere you have seen the AIB telling you, I'm charging you 0 point whatever, 1 point whatever. No. You have done it, zero brokerage costs. Your amount intact. You get it back intact. Interest intact. Nothing is charged. And like shares where the broker will always charge you costs. And CCMA, CDSC, they charge you levies. Prices fluctuate, and maybe you panic, sell at loss. For the board, unless you sell in secondary market, which I would highly discourage, because here you are negotiating with somebody else. It's like you're begging somebody to buy your board. They'll give you a lower price. So when you're getting into it, you focus 5 years. But no, there is opportunity to exit by selling in secondary market. The broker there is waiting you with commission. The government there is waiting you with tax. So it is a decision to make. You have entered brokerage free, tax free. Do you want to exit with brokerage, tax, and levies? And besides that, there is a bank and M-Pesa which is waiting for you. And the seller is actually happy now they can hit you. A board that you bought at 100,000, I will buy at 70. You have lost 30,000. Remember, you are at my muscle. Unless there is demand in the market, where now the buy side are at your muscle. It's a decision you make. And there are no hidden charges that eats into your return. We go to Q&A. And before we go to Q&A, let me just check something. Hopefully, what time is it? Today we are finished early. It's not like EABR board. And if you have any question, put on the chat. Today, I think I didn't have a lot of people, but it's because of the minimums that were put. EABR, it was 10,000. I didn't intend to combine this with share training. That I will do now from Wednesday. I think most of the things that were preventing me from training, I'm done with them. So from Wednesday, we should be able to go back. Wednesday, Friday, Wednesday. Wednesday, NSE, Friday, international markets. Then boards in between. I will try and fix time, always have time, even weekends. And you're always free to get in touch. There's something I'm checking. As I wait for questions, put now questions on the chat, including shares. I know I've touched Uchumi. If there's anything you want to know about that share, ask now. Umeme I've touched, ask now. KPLC, Kenyari, CIC, ask now. It's only the technical ones which I may If it requires a bit of analysis, I will advise you on what to do. But everything, even if you request privately, I always make it public. If you ask me to analyze for you, a certain company give you, I always analyze as if I'm analyzing for everyone. Because that question, maybe there's somebody else who don't want to ask. So you can join those two groups. In those two groups, I'll be announcing more platforms we have already opened. I am on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, Discord. So I'll be sharing all those links. So for Discord now is when I will be able to chat. On WhatsApp group, if you are on WhatsApp web, you should be able to reply. So there we can chat. For mobile app, unfortunately, WhatsApp, they limit. When you reach 10, 24 members, they broke. I don't want to create group. I've seen, because I'm also in many other groups outside there. The information is cluttered. If I post my post today, another person will post theirs, so you are not able to follow. Me, I want somewhere, if there is a post we discuss within, so that even new members, they're able to follow whatever topic they want to discuss, they discuss within. And it also makes it easier for you to follow. Maybe you don't want to know about KPLC, you want Safaricom. You can just go to the post for Safaricom, deep price, see what is discussed. If you want to ask, you ask, members come and assist. That's the kind of discussion I want, where it is structured. On Facebook group, there we can also discuss within, again, posts. It makes it easier, even, and it is a public, a lot of them, they are public, they are free. I don't charge. I'm just checking something before I come to Q&A. As I wait for you to put questions, let me just confirm 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, I think I should be able now to go to Q. Let me start with Q&A. I see if there's anything before I come to chat. But now don't put on Q&A. Put on the chat. Put on the chat so that I am able to answer them. Hi, first I want to thank you a lot for educating us on this. What if I want to invest 100,000? Can you split money and buy BAT for 50 unless Safaricom? BAT have already closed unless you buy from secondary market. Secondary market, I wouldn't advise you, because you have a hassle of getting somebody to sell to you, and it might not be that readily. I would request if you can put right now on Safaricom, but you can talk to the broker. In a broker, you see if they can get a seller for you. Is it BAT? No, that is the ABL. BAT is the shares. Actually, didn't read that. BAT, unless, is there something maybe you're looking to invest in? Let me just check their dividend. BAT. BAT is in January. Bukrosha may be in February or March there. So it's better you put in Safaricom board, then the interest that will be coming, you can decide now to put in BAT and maybe beef up with a small amount. For BAT, the prices are a bit high. You can wait this December and see. There could be some fluctuation as investors try to lock in school fees for January. So you may find there is a lot of sales. So if you see prices going down, don't panic between now and January. People are starting to get their school fees and money for Christmas. Prices will adjust downward. January stabilize. Now that time, you can buy shares. So for me, I would advise on Safaricom board. I joined late. Don't worry if you joined late, I will share this recording. Please advise on how to buy. I've gone through the whole process. You just go to there's a link I put on the chat. You just click on that link, click apply now. You sign in. Then you give your personal details. Then there's somewhere it will ask you the broker. You select your broker and the CDSC number. Then investor pool, you select local individual. You go to the next screen where you put the notes you are applying. That is the amount you want to apply. You put the notes. Then it will ask you for bank details. That is in case of a subscription, where do they pay to? You give your bank details. You click next. You come now to the payment screen. You have an option of the bank or M-Pesa or telegraphic transfer. If it is bank, you can do either EFT RTGS or PesaLink. EFT RTGS bank will send you SWIFT confirmation. Attach it at the supporting document, proof of payment, if not paid by M-Pesa. If it is PesaLink, you need the difference code. You can take that screenshot again, attach the proof of payment. And again, bank will send you confirmation, maybe as an attachment. Download that, attach. If it is M-Pesa, click pay via, you see option, pay via M-Pesa, click pay now. It will give you an option now when you are going to the next screen. When you click pay now, it will give you a PIN pop-up, put your PIN, amount is submitted. Go to the next screen where it asks for reference code. If you submitted on any other mode, that unique code you got from M-Pesa bank or mobile platform, add it there, submit your application. That's it. I'll share this recording. And Lydia, you can always reach out. When you're ready to apply, I'll take you through. Even if it means setting up a Teams meeting for you personally, just to take you through that process, happy to do that. Then Victor, please inform me how to buy these green boards. I think I've gone through that. If you're still stuck, I'll share this recording on those two, on WhatsApp community and Telegram channel. If you're not able to follow through, just call me, I'll take you through. I think there are those whom have set even a Teams meeting and went through the process. Recording, I'll share. Don't worry. Just join any of the two groups. I'll share. And also, if you're able to get back to the same chat later, maybe tomorrow, I will also add that link on the chat. Is the interest calculated per year? Yes, interest is per year. So 10%, 10.4 of 100 is the amount you have invested. Whatever you get is annual. Now, in terms of payment, you divide that by 2. So interest in June, it's half of that. Interest in December, the other half. So now we go to Q&A. Don't on chat. Don't put on the Q&A now. I make it simple and quick. So that's my mobile number for those who want to reach out. How long does it take to create a CDSC account? Is it too late to open the account now and buy both? No, Joy. What you do, above your question, there is my WhatsApp number. Just go to AIB DigiTrader on our online portal, open CDSC account. Once you complete, send me your ID number. You'll get your CDSC number Monday morning. Monday morning. You still now have from Monday to next Monday to apply. So just apply, send to my WhatsApp number. I'll be happy to assist you on Monday because CDSC and brokers will open on Monday. As I said, I work with the IB Access. It has been long since you told us you will do training on how to open CSD DO account. Show us treasury board bidding, teach us more on board laddering. When should we expect this? Because of that request, I'll be doing next week. Let me look my calendar. If it's not possible on a weekday, I'll do still on a weekend. So for those who want to apply to buy government bonds, that's where CSD DO account comes in. It is a CSD account for government bonds. You open at CBK, Then you buy now government bonds using that. Primaries is when the board is listing for the first time. That's when the government is borrowing money the first time, or they are reopening a closed board. Let's say it matured in 2017. They are reopening that board. You can do it on primary. You can do it on that app or portal. If you want to buy an existing board from another investor, that is done on secondary market, same as now Safaricom board. When you are selling, somebody else will be buying. Even government boards you can buy from secondary market, but that's now done through a broker or a bank. What is the minimum amount required for this board? It's 50,000. Now subsequent amount is in multiples of 10,000. Maximum, if you're able to roll them the 15 billion, the better. But I think there should be a cap on the maximum. How much is board in secondary market? Say you didn't buy for EABL and now you would like to invest in it. So the pricing is based on the current prices. Let me check on price list whether. Let me just check on NSE price lists. So if you go to NSE price list, at the board's price list, it should be there. Let me see whether it's part of it. Corporate boards. Let me share this screen. Hopefully I don't take much time. Don't want to take much of your time. It is a weekend. But happy to complete all the questions. So this is an NSE price list. If you're wondering where I got it from, it is there on AIB Access website, AIB Access Africa. You go to research, then price list. You open corporate boards price list. That is the link. It is free. So you can open the first one. You can open the first board's price list as it yesterday. So we are looking at the price for yesterday. Let me close this. So you notice these others are government boards. Then there is these others infrastructure boards. These ones, they don't attract interest. They know infrastructure boards. Then there is also treasury boards. Those are treasury boards. Then infrastructure boards, these don't have. Treasury, they have. These others, treasury boards below 50 million. So if you want to buy, those are the ones now you buy using CSD DO account. Now corporate boards, these are in CDSC. So we have several boards that are already there. If you wanted to buy from secondary market, there is a Real People Medium Term Note. This was done a long time ago, 2015. It is maturing in 2028. There is Family Bank Medium Note. There are two, done in 2021, maturing next year, 2026. So the people who bought 2021, they have the interest, the next interest paid, then the final interest that will be paid on 17th December, then they get back full amount. So I think this now helps you understand how the interest will be paid. So maybe they will be paid around June, the next interest. Then the final interest will be paid on 17th December 2026. And at the same time, they get back full their money that they invested in. There is the one for Kenya Mortgage, the financing company. Then we have RINZI. Then we have the current EABL board. It is the last one. It is listed in 18th November 2025. Money back 18th November 2030. If you scroll on the side, there is the pricing. Let me just narrow down. I want to pick the columns at the top. So you have the data price and the clean price. And the previous trading price, that is the last two columns. So there have not been any trades yet. So there is nobody who have been selling or buying. But most likely, the people who invested, they want to first get their first interest. That's why there are no trades. So this is where now you'll be able to see the current prices if you wanted to buy on the price list. So if you open the board's price list a day and you find now EABR notes are trading, that time now you can come and buy. But it doesn't mean you can't buy right now. If you wanted, just talk to the broker, any broker, they can get a client for you. But remember something we said, there is brokerage, commission, and interest. If I was you, instead of getting to that EABR board, I would get into this Safaricom board full blown. Instead of paying levies and commissions for shares, I would go for this board, then use interest to buy shares. The reason why I've gone to that screen is for those who want to take my WhatsApp number. You can be picking it from that screen as I go through the questions. Maybe I can also, let me first go to this screen, because that tells you how much you'll be earning. The first column in the amount that you are giving. The next column is amount that you'll be getting paid. Then interest per year is what now if you are to multiply invested amount times your interest, the amount that you're supposed to get annually. Then after 4 years, how much interest you have received. This interest is not inclusive of the amount that you invested. So what does that mean? On 5th year, your gains will be, let's say you invested 50,000, you have 26,000. So basically by that time, if you're not using that money, it's coming to the bank without you touching. On 11th December 2030, you should go and find 76,000. But remember we said when you receive your 2,600 in June, in December, this December, buy shares. June next year, buy shares that are giving you dividend. So let me see. And I think there is also another promise I made on how to identify cheap stocks at NSE and another one for international market. For NSE, it's very simple. Actually, when we do it, you realize it's very, very simple. You only need one site and maybe a bit of small research. International markets, you move from one site, around 5 of them. By the time you're reaching the 5th one, you have a list of stocks you can buy and make money easily in international markets. That's global markets, and you don't need to be with AIB. That's why I said I check something just to make sure I'm not exposing myself to my other competitors, staff members. Because I would want you to trade with the broker you are comfortable with. If you are trading currently with IBKR, Interactive Broker, and you feel that is a comfortable broker, continue, come and run. If it is a scope market, come and run. If it is AIB, you are trading with, come and run. If it is AIB when we integrate with digital platform, come and run. We have not integrated. That's why I'm giving you a bit of brokers you can be investing with if you want to buy fractional shares. AIB currently we are giving from 1 share upward, minimum 100,000, just control traffic. That is in terms of deposit, 100,000 and above for international stocks. There is also, I think, FX Pesa, Dovu, but check the accommodations online. You don't want to get to a broker, then you're not able to get your money back. Fortunately, in EIB, mostly you'll be dealing with me. I'm the one who also handling those products. So what is the minimum amount? I've said 50,000 graduated into multiples of 10,000. How much is the board in secondary markets? EABL. You have seen it is not, there is no trade yet, but I think most of people are trying to lock the first interest in November. What is the process? Say you would like to invest 100,000. Does the broker look for somebody who has invested 100K to match what's yours, and how much do you buy it? Now, approximate figure. The way it works, if you want to buy now in secondary market, you talk to broker. They will connect you with their board's dealing team or a bank that has a board's dealing desk. You tell them I need EABL board. Can you look for me? Sarah. How much are they willing to sell to me? So the broker, what they will do, and that's why I said secondary market is a bit tricky. Remember, they're also looking for money. They go to board calculator, try do mathematics, they give you a rate. If you agree to that rate, they will look now for somebody who is able to sell you board at that rate. So it is a discretion of the broker and the client. They are the ones now who determine the price. Remember, the client needs profit, and the broker needs both of you to at least gain. You don't buy at a higher price, and again, the seller doesn't sell it at a lower price. That's why boards are not trading on any platform directly. You can't trade directly because it's more of a negotiation that the broker does. So if I buy stocks between interim and final, will I be paid dividend during final? So what you do when you buy shares for dividend, you buy when they announce. They usually say book closure is on this date. Buy before or on book closure. Once you buy, don't sell those shares. Let them be at your CDSC account. So every time they announce dividend, you'll be paid. You don't need to do anything else. You just be receiving. That's what long-term investors do. You just buy a board, shares, dividend stocks, leave them there. They'll just be receiving. Every time they announce payment day, you'll be receiving your money without doing anything. You don't need to sell. Don't, as I said, don't chase prices. There are commissions to be paid. And when you want to buy that share back, price may have gone up. Can the notes be traded in secondary market? Yes, from once they list, I think it should be around 9th December. Is it 15th December or 9th December? From there, if you want to sell, you can sell. But remember, you need to be aware of the pricing. You don't sell at a lower price. And also, cost. There will be levies, broker commission, and tax. So you need to be aware about that. And remember, this board is not affected by tax changes. It is tax-free. So even if government increases tax, you don't need to worry. Your money is tax-free. Even if interest tax goes down, you don't worry at all. I came a little bit late. Please inform how to buy these green notes. I think I've gone through that process, but Victor, you can always reach out on the side. I will take you through for free. We can have a meeting maybe tomorrow, Monday onwards when you're free. But I will also share the recording. Then there is a question, which site sharing? Could it be for shares? I said stockanalysis.com. I think that's the only site I've not shared. Let me just share. If it doesn't show NFC shares, you just search for Safaricom. Let me go to that site. I don't like showing. Without practicals, because it might be a hassle for you to locate some of these things. But like, I always like empowering you to do these things on your own. When you open that site, it might take you to this page. You can sign up for free with Gmail account or any other account. Sign up is free. It's not a must you sign up unless you want more detailed analysis. Like there is watch lists. I'll come to this next time. Where if you have multiple brokers, you can try and track your portfolio on the same site. So you add all the shares you have with all the brokers on this site, and it is able to track for you profit and loss. Instead of having to go to one broker, get valuation, go to this other broker valuation, you do separate. This site can be able to help you. Although the easiest is to transfer to one broker, you continue with one broker. If you're trading in international market and you want to know your valuation from one screen, remember shares you're buying with this broker, international market, maybe you have interactive broker, you can come and add all of them here. And you start tracking your valuation from the same screen. And it gives you even profit or loss. So you just convert your investment, if it is in dollar or any other, you convert it into Kenya shillings. Or you convert your NSE into international markets valuation. And I think that is simple. There's a way you can change it. Let me just see that option. There's an option to change this to it here. Option, there's somewhere, currency. You just enable currency, then you can change this to wherever currency you want, and it will just adjust. So you just need to do a few calculations, convert, then feed in those data in. You'll be tracking everything. Because now, this, you're able even to track those companies, their performance in terms of pricing, PE ratios, earnings, dates. That is when they are making announcements so that you know whether you want to sell on that day. Remember, it is usually book closure. It is usually open day when prices are not limited. You can buy from 0.1 to the maximum price. So that time you'd want to even buy more for the share that maybe the prices have gone down. No? So this, you have that. Holdings, this is what you have, showing you profit or loss. Dividends, if that company is announcing dividend, when are they paying? You don't need to track from a different site. You have ex-dividend date, you have payment day. You can always track your dividend straight from this site. You only need to add your stocks. Performance, how is the company performing? Forecasts, if there is any rating for international market, you see the rating and even price target. For NSE, unfortunately, analysts have not onboarded. Earnings, how is the company performing in terms of revenue? I don't know whether they give balance sheet, because you'd want to see how this company you have invested in is also performing in terms of shareholders' equity, because that tells you whether you can be paid in case of liquidation or not. And adding share is just coming here. Like let's say I want to add Equity Bank. Equity Bank Kenya. I think it needs its EQ. Is it EQT? I hope it is in this list. Yes, it is here. NAS, NASC Equity Group. It will just be added. If I want to add my holdings, I just come to holdings. I just click on add number of shares. Let's say I have 1,000. I press enter. It updates everything. I can add the average price. Let's say I have broker AIB and broker another broker. I'll just take the valuation from AIB. That's the total cost in AIB. I go to the other broker total cost. I add the two, then add the number of shares, then divide by number of shares. I'll get the tentative figure. Let's say it is 30, and it gives me my profit. I don't need now to continue going to the other broker. When I add shares on one broker, I only need to come and add that, another average price, and it does everything for your portfolio valuation. So you already know now in the market what is your worth. If you scroll down, it gives you your net worth. And when you add shares, down there, it gives you now news based on the shares you hold. You don't need now to go to Business Daily to track this, no. Like now you have seen AGF and Equity Bank join forces to unlock 1 billion SME funding. This was done in May 2023, May 23rd, 2025. The latest, I think it should be Safaricom, based on what me have read, Safaricom have year results. And you can click on that, now go see the full analysis from Bloomberg or whichever site have loaded that. It's the beauty of what you can do online. So that's on portfolio. Now we go to stock screener. You want to see NSE shares. So you come where there is company, you type price like Escom, Safaricom. Let me first load. I think I can clear. Let me remove country here. I put US. So it might load US stocks. So when you are here, you just go to country, you type Kenya. You select Kenya. It loads you all the stocks in NSE. You have dividend yield for the year. The dividend they have paid, if you want to see the shares that have given highest dividend, you just arrange with the column for dividend. If you click, you get BAT is the highest. It pays semi-annually. Payout ratio, you need to know how much of the profit do they pay. Because if a company is paying more than their revenue, their profit, then there is a problem. Like BAT, but it's because BAT, they have no other expansion. They deal with cigarettes. There's nothing else they can invent across the cigarette sector. Dividend growth, the ones which are growing in terms of dividend. You can come at the analysts, I think, is there anything? I don't think there is much. Don't think they have started doing the analysis for NSE stocks. This is the most important. The screen is it general? The one that have prices. Let me see. The 52-week high and 52-week low. Valuation, PE ratios. I'm looking for a screen with 52-week high, 52-week low. Was that the one you want to use? I think in the next training I'll come with it. I don't want to take much time, but you can always add. I think it should be here. 52-week high, 52-week low. This one. And also stock price. Where is the stock price? Because you need now to compare the stock price against, let me see if I can add. I think it is added. Stock price add. So stock price is the current trading price of the share. You need to know whether it is close to 52-week low or 52-week high or in the middle. Why? If it is in the middle all the way to 52-week low, it means that stock is trading lower than it has ever gone in the year. You can buy. If it is above all the way close to 52-week high, it means that stock is close to its highest. So chances of that stock going higher may be limited. You may want, let's take BAT. If you click on it, I said there is this graph. If you want to know, you can click marks. As I said, around 2024, that's when stocks went down. No? BAT was performing well. If you take Safaricom, Escom, you go to the same graph. Notice around 2024, that's when the market went down. But earlier, if you notice, there is a time it was trading around 29. So the price you see here is the price it has ever gone up. But there is a chance it might go to 40s. Because there is a time it went high. So you can use this site now to analyze stocks. Oh, sorry, project. Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't project. Sorry. Let me share that screen. Let me share the screen. Don't know why it's okay. Stockanalysis.com. You can see the screen now. Just confirm. Okay, sorry for that. So let me first go to the home page. When you open it, might be like this. You can sign up for a free account. So you go to, I started with watch lists where you add portfolio. Let me, can I remove this? Let me see, if I edit, I can remove. So it will be empty. Assuming I have shares with different brokers. I have shares in Safaricom. I'll come to where I can search. Just search for Safaricom. Escom, NASC, you note the name, you add. I can add the number of shares I have with that broker, let's say 1,000. It gives me the current value. Then if I know the average price, I can count 20. So it gives me even the profit. If I have multiple brokers, let's say 1,000 with the AIB and 2,000 with another broker at different prices, I will only come and edit here, put the total shares I have, then calculate the average price. The average price is now the total cost on the other broker plus the total cost in AIB divided by the number of shares. So if, let's say, I multiply AIB, the 1,000 times the price, I get the value. The other broker the same. I add now the total cost, I divide by the total number of shares, I can come now and adjust, maybe the price comes down to 15. From one screen, I can be able now to track shares from all the brokers, because anytime I buy from another broker, I will only be coming and adjust number of shares and the average price. It gives me the whole valuation. If I go to dividend screen, you can see all the details. When do I expect my shares to give dividend? Remember, in the broker platform, you can't see this. But here, you have all the details. When will they be giving next? If there is an announcement for dividend, if you add all your stocks, you can be able to know the stocks that will give you dividend next. And the dates they will be paying. So you'll be able now to know when do I expect dividend in my account. Performance, you can see how the company is performing. If you go to forecast, unfortunately for NSE, you don't have these. But if I add like NVIDIA, assuming I have shares in NVIDIA, international market, you notice NVIDIA have even price targets. So for those who want to buy shares in international markets, it can tell you the current price, then the price you can target when you buy. If you buy now, when it reaches 248, you can exit. And it tells you how much you can expect. Like NVIDIA, even analyst rating, is it a buy, a strong buy, a sell? So for international markets, fortunately, you have all these. That's why you don't need research from brokers. You can do it from these sites. And as I said, international markets, the other sites I will show you besides this. Then earnings. When are these companies announcing their results? You already know after that day, the companies are announcing results. Prices may swing either way. If you want to take profit and sell at highest price, you can. If you want to buy at lowest price, that's the time. So you already know your timings. And fundamentals, just to know, revenue, is it growing? Is this company making money? Free cash flow, how much are they left after paying out? So that you know the companies that are investing in, are they left with any money to pay out? Even the growth holdings we have done. If you come to general now, you can see other issues, including 52-week high and low, so that you know, is it time to add or is it time to sell? So that is on portfolio. Then at the stock screener, this is where now you are able to get stocks. At the country, it might come at the US. You might see yours at the US. So you only need to go to country. In the drop down, search for Kenya or the stock market you want to see. The stocks are here. If you go to general, I think at the filter, this is where you can add more screens. Other indicators, you can add 52-week high, week low, stock price, and others. I will show you all these. It's because of time. Then you can compare your stock price. Is it closest to the 52-week low or 52-week high? That is done for you through these ratios. Let me quickly get them. Change from 52-week high and low. The percentage, because everything is calculated for you. Let me see whether it is here. It should be part of this. EPS growth, revenue. I'm looking for the percentages. Yeah, here. No, that one. An all-time high. So you want to buy the shares that are closest to 52-week low. So you arrange these, the 52-week low change by the lowest. These are some of the stocks, but notice these are which stocks? Penny stocks. That's why right now, that's why you see penny stocks are trading a lot. There is also stand chart, but stand chart, don't confuse it. It's because of that pension case. People panic, they want to sell. It is temporary. It is time to buy if you want. Kakuzi again, but Kakuzi, if you notice, the price is within the narrow range. So it's just stable for dividends. If you want to sell, then you come to 52-week high change. You go to the lowest. Now it tells you these are companies which are closest to the highest. You may want now to come to your portfolio. That's why we added watch list and check here. Is the current price closest to the 52-week high or the lowest? If it is at the highest, then you check, have I made profit? Now that time you can sell. So for a sell decision, you use your portfolio. For a buy decision, you use now the analysis, where you come to these screens and now play around with them. I'll go through these in the next training in details. So let me go back to this screen because I want you to see how much you can get when you invest your board. Let me pick the other questions quickly. Now, let's go quickly. Oh, link to my blog. Oh, thank you, thank you. Let me just share that. Just share. That is my blog. But that will take you to dividend calendar. But now you have all the menus to play around with. Let me see if I can remove that. That's why I post everything, not just. Sorry, I didn't copy. Let me copy everything. Don't pick the one that is on charts. Let me edit. I'm just editing. Control A, paste. No, it is not copying the HTTP. Allow me to delete that. I need to share the correct with the HTTP. Let me also delete this. Let me see if these are copies with the HTTP. Let me just share that again with HTTPS copy so that it is easier for you just to click. The blog has everything you'd want to know about the market, including other investments. So, yeah. That is the link. Let me see whether it will open. Yeah, that is the link. So it has everything you'd want. And more information. I'll keep on loading every time I do training. Then there is AA Kenya is also listing. At NSE, help us understand this information. First, a full capital structuring package. Share allotment, one bonus. Okay, I think the information that you have posted is the previous one. Huh? They usually give their investors bonus. Then they also do share splits. Huh? That share split means you reduce the share price, but you increase the. Is it increase? Share split is where the price goes down, but the number of shares increase. Huh? Bonus is where you get additional shares for free. But this is the previous information that they sent to CME. But AA Kenya, what do they do? Again, insurance sector. You first start with the sector, insurance sector. Is it a stable sector? AA Kenya, I believe they could be the one. Let me see if they are the ones who. They also have a driving school, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, they have a driving school. Let me check whether they have insurance. Yes, they also have insurance. I wanted to know the insurance, is it for matatus or just the PSVs? Because if matatus are there, then that stock you might be getting into trouble. Why am I saying that? Remember, they'll be affected by claims, huh? And claims eat into their profit. Huh? So you may want to evaluate further. I've not done analysis. I saw it. That's why I said the others which are coming, which you may need to cross-check. Huh? It is listing via introduction, huh? Just the same way Family Bank is doing. Huh? They will come, the existing shareholders, they are given opportunity to sell their shares to you. Then you, if you want, you buy now from the market. Huh? For AA Kenya, you may need first to check whether they are making profit. Do they give dividends to their shareholders? How much is their shareholder equity? That is liability minus assets. So you compare if it is a negative figure, then because it's supposed to be assets minus liability. If it is a negative figure, then it means you are getting into a company where if it is liquidated, you need to get your money back. If it is a positive figure, then it means their balance sheet supports the company just in case of anything, and shareholders can get their money back. So this is just information on media and also NSE. It's not fully confirmed, but once it is confirmed, now more details will come out, including the pricing, because you need to know the price you're getting into. For Family Bank, as I said, it could be between 13 and 18, they are around. For AA Kenya, you may need to do some analysis, and I think there are more that are coming. And I see I've said even circles will also be listing. But again, you need to be aware of balance sheet, profit performance, that's P&L, and also cash flow, just to be sure you're getting into a profitable company. You can always do boards on weekends. There's a lot of time during weekend. I'm happy to do that. Actually, I'm trying to see if I can be training even other products, just interchangeably, so that we run our investment options, which are within capital markets. Because capital markets is fully regulated by CME. You can never lose money. And if it is a risky product, the broker is supposed to tell you, like CFDs and Forex. They usually tell you 75% of the account lose money. CMA have told them always tell your investors they can lose money. In shares, there's nothing you can lose unless you sell it at all. How can one buy corporate bond on secondary market? That you go through the broker, but there will be commissions, 0.024% of the face value. Then there are levies, and there could be tax. Can you explain the concept of stock split? Stock split is where, let's say, a share is trading at 39. Let me give a good example with equity. This time it was trading at, was it 60, 63, sometime back, 39, sometime back. So they did a stock split. They said, we divide our price by 3. So the price goes to 13. Remember your valuation shares, if you have 1,000, it will go down. But it's not supposed to be affected. So the price goes down by a ratio of 3, but they multiply shares by 3. So you get 3,000 shares, but price goes down by 13. Your valuation doesn't change. But that is forward split. There is reverse split, where the price is multiplied, let's say by 3, but your shares go down by 3. So for NSE, mostly is a forward split, where the share numbers increase, but prices go down. I'll do this when we are doing NSE shares, because you also need to know splits and bonuses and dividends, how they work. Which is the other share you mentioned? There's a safe penny stocks apart from Kenya Re, CIC. They give dividend. The others, just leave them because you'll be chasing prices. The others, unless you're chasing prices, the two, they give dividend. So you are sure, even if price is not moving, you'll be getting dividend. If they stop giving dividend that time of food, go to another dividend stock. Umeme, don't try. Umeme, don't try. That one I can even tell you, please don't try. Don't try. Even if they announce another dividend, that dividend is supported by a court case. They are only getting money from Uganda government. Then what happens after that? Price goes down. Even if you got a dividend, when you sell at a loss, so it may eat into your dividend. For diversification purposes, which stocks do you currently advise to buy? There is ones which have already announced dividend. Right now, don't chase prices. Chase dividend because prices are way high. So the ones which are there is INM, Kengen, then KPLC, in that order. There is a reason. INM, they give good dividend. It's a bank, stable bank. Kengen, they have been giving dividend, I think, for the longest. They supply much of the Kenya Power. They also supply other, I think they also have other business they do. So it is a stable company. They enjoy more, it's like more of a monopoly, though they have those imports that are done by the government for power, which should not worry you. It's more of a stable company. It has been known to be the cheapest stable dividend stock, together with Kenya Re and CIC, but price have moved above 10, so it's no longer a penny stock. Then KPLC, you still need to check whether they will issue another dividend, but you can buy if your heart goes with KPLC. So if you're looking for the dividends, those, but you can also target the companies that will declare in January. Between now and December, as I said, most people, they are locking in, not profits, money for Christmas and school fees. Prices may go down. It's time now to buy those shares that will give dividend in January. Can one change a stockbroker? Yes. You just open, like, if you want to move to AIB, you just open an account with AIB digitally. You can do that even today. You get that CDSC on Monday. You go to the other broker anytime now from there. When you are ready to transfer, ask the broker to give you the transfer form, fill in, send to us. You can do that via email. Then you pay, you only pay CDSC, the 200 bob. It is paid directly to CDSC, not the broker. Broker is not supposed to charge you. Immediately CDSC receives that money source. Before you transfer, take a copy of portfolio valuation, because when you transfer to us, we always like to update your portfolio valuation. When shares come, they come with a zero price. Now you update with the other brokers, average price. Now you have correct valuation. Oh, the screen for 52-week low and high, I think that I've explained, if I'm not wrong, but confirm on the chat if I've explained that, Peter, so that if I didn't explain, it's good I go back to it. Huh? Can you advise someone to buy international market through Dove? Yes, you can, but check the withdrawal period, because remember when you sell, you need your money. Also check, are there costs when you fund, and what is their brokerage? And more important, are you able to reach anyone in case you have an issue? Are they regulated? And besides that, apart from international market, do they offer any other product? Because Dove is not a broker, they are just a platform. They are partnered with another broker to offer international stocks. I hold Umeme shares and I'm concerned with the future activities relatively to my investments and security. Are you advising to offload the shares and just absorb the loss? Victor, I think maybe you observe the price movement. If it goes back to 10 offload, for now, unless you want to wait until the court case is concluded. If you are risk averse, I can tell you wait for the court case. Immediately, because once they get that money, they will be paying another dividend. You don't target the dividend. Immediately, the dividend is announced. The other people will come to buy. They shoot the price up, exit at that point. So, two things. If you are risk averse, just wait for court case. You can sell that time. Otherwise, just observe the market. If the prices have gone up a bit and loss is minimal, just get out. Get into a stable dividend stock. Try to play around with dividend, recover your money that you lost in Umeme, and forget about penny stocks from there. I said Uchumi. It's the one I want to conclude with. Let me see if Q&A there is any question that have been posted before I come to story of Uchumi, because I don't want you to lose money. Well, the session is recorded. I will share the recording. What if I want to buy index funds, S&P 500 VATs? Which broker would give me access to that? AIB is doing that, but not that. Yes, just wait on that blog. I'll be posting what fractional ETFs are. I hope I've not posted. Is where you can buy a fraction of that. Instead of buying 1 unit of SPF, you can buy a 0.1 unit. If it is NVIDIA, instead of buying 1 share, you can buy 0.1. That is called fractional shares. That we are not yet there. We are in the integration process. Hopefully, we can do that by the end of Christmas. If you are looking to buy from 1 unit and above, AIB is offering that. But minimum deposit, we are starting with 100,000 just to control traffic. Just to control traffic because it's going through our trading desk. In terms of Umeme, I think I've advised you you can hold on, just check the prices. If they go above, just hit. Actually, when you see social media, there is hype on Umeme. Always be on the market. Check whether the prices are going up. If you minimize your loss enough to take the loss, just sell and forget. And don't go back to those cheap stocks. I want to thank you for a lot for the educating us on this. Thank you so much. I think these I answered. These I answered. If it is BAT shares, will you first invest in board? When you receive interest, buy shares. That time price may have gone down. Let me check whether we have, missed out on dividend payment if I bought shares between interim and final. So the way dividend works, a share announces, like I&M have announced dividend. They are closing book on books on. Let me see. So you always check the book closure. Let me check the dividend book closure for INM. INM. Dividend, the book closure is on 15th December. So if you want to buy, you buy now, between now and 15th December, including 15th December. The total number of shares you have at 5 p.m. 15th December is what you'll be paid dividend. So if you want to take now the next dividends that will come after, the interim final, you don't sell your shares. As long as you're shareholder on book closure, the amount you have, the number of shares you have is what you multiply by the dividend amount. So that will be sent to you. That's why in my trainings, you notice I usually train on dividends. I don't train on capital gains, because capital gains, it's highly unlikely. It's like betting. You're betting with your money. That requires a lot of analysis, and analysis could be wrong because you're using company results, which could be cooked books. Why? Look at the results that have been announced by most of the companies. Profit they are reporting, yes, but it is revaluation of existing assets. It's not new money they have gained from outside. That's why most of even recommendations, they are based on those figures, but they are usually not the correct one. Because again, you're not factoring demand and supply. Look at Uchumi. Uchumi prices is just pure hype. People telling you buy, it will go to 2 bob. You want to buy, you broke supply. Remember the following day, if the price have executed at the highest, the following day it will be the base determinant of the opening prices. So again, you have pushed prices up with 10%. It will go up, but CMA, they said what? If this trend continues, we limit it to 5%. If Uchumi doesn't comply with paying their creditors, that's the debt they have, it will be delisted. It will be liquidated, but we still want to buy. What is CMA telling you? Don't buy these shares. CMA can't tell you directly. Brokers, go to AIB WhatsApp group, check recommendation for Uchumi. It is a sell. What is AIB telling to tell you? Get out of this stock. If you see them tell you buy, then that's time buy. If they are telling you sell, they are trying to, it's because AIB cannot tell you what I'm telling you. That's why this video cannot go to AIB's YouTube channel. AIB cannot tell you don't buy. Me, I'm not bound by any regulations. Even if I'm an employee of AIB, as Peter, I'm not bound. That's why don't buy Uchumi. It is a trap. Those who bought at 0.2, go and check. They're telling you I bought at 0.2. Right now it's 0.9. They are finding it very hard to sell at that price because they know they can push that price higher. Then they will push it to 2 bob. At that point, what will happen? Then, at that point, you panic, you want to sell. You broke the buy side. Prices go down below even the price you bought at to 0.2. CMA comes and says, Uchumi, we gave you opportunity. You didn't meet our regulations. Even the board that is being set to make sure it is within the 5% and they meet the requirements, we will come and say this is not a stock to be at NSE. What do? Suspend. You can't sell. Remember, this is a company that have assets somewhere. Somebody may have interest. CMA can say, instead of suspending, let's liquidate and remove it from NSE. They already have debts. Shareholders. I wish I can get those results. Let me see if quickly I can get results. Uchumi Supermarket results. I hope there is no other question, so that I close with this. Let me see if I can get the PDF. Let me see if I can quickly share this. Hopefully you have taken my number. So that when I say you don't buy Uchumi, there are people who are feeling like I'm against Uchumi, but I've been in this market. I know what have been done by TransCentury. It was suspended when I had shares, and I was just explaining to a client, if you buy TransCentury today, it will be suspended. Tomorrow you'll not be able to buy. I didn't check the prices because as I was explaining, I pressed enter, it bought. I couldn't sell T+3. It was suspended the following day. I have those shares, but for TransCentury, it's a court case with Equity. It might come back. Huh? For Mumias, even if it comes back today, I can't buy. This is Uchumi's website. All companies that are listed at NSE, they have this menu, investor reports. Always go to those. Let's see if we can get this financial 2024. It is there. Let me scroll down. I'm always not interested with other stories because these stories they usually cooked for the media. See if I can get. I'm looking for financials, whether they have shown them. When you open some of these companies, you need to ignore some of these noise because it will waste your time. Where you can just come quickly to where is that financial statement? This is the profit and loss, which they declared what a profit of around is it 21 million? Let me see, is it in million? Yeah. But notice it is 21 million. Where is it? But last year they made around 300,000 losses. But much of it is coming from non-trading income. Notice if they don't have non-trading income, they are at a loss. What does that tell you? This income is coming from other sources, which they have not disclosed. That's why if you're investing in Ichumi, you need to know which are these non-trading income. Now going through the whole prospectus, this announcement, you know where did they get them from. One of them could be rentals. And this income cannot be rentals alone because rentals is only one person who have rented China Square. So it's one tenant who is paying Uchumi. Do you want to really peg your hopes on that tenant? What if they move from that mall to another? What will happen? You lose that income, you go to losses. Let's go to balance sheet. Where is it? Go to balance sheet, financial position. Notice total assets is 3.2 million against, where is this? Liabilities of 7.9 current. If you add non-current, it comes to 10 million, 10 point what? 10.1 against. So what you're betting against is 10.1 against selling assets worth 3. Is it 6 million? So they have a net loss of 4 million, which should be okay. This one, if you have to add 6 million against 10, so there you have a deficit of 4 million. That should be recovered at the equities share capital. So if you come here, if they were to pay all the loans they owe, and all the debts they owe, you may realize as a shareholders, you may not have anything to be paid. There is a revaluation, so that one you remove because it's just to make sure the balance sheet agrees. This is the problem with our finance, I think accounting. Yeah? So remove revaluation out, retained earnings out. So you're only left with you as the shareholders around 1.8 and the share premium account. So in case they pay through assets, for this case, they don't have anything to retain. Assume they retain something, they are first supposed to pay the share premium accounts before you as the shareholders are paid. But what have we seen? Again, they have nothing. The equities, it's on negative, 7 million. And you still want to buy let's go to the last. It's where? I can't remember it is which point, which the board had clearly said they were given caution by CMA. Is it number 9? Not director remuneration. I wish I could get it right now. That is directors. It's not about directors. Let me see if it is in this. If it is not in this, I think I've done that analysis already. It's not here. I think it is the auditors who said they are not able to recover from. Wish I can get that. Is it amongst these? I think it is under this going concern. There should be an auditor comment. I can't remember where it is. Just when you open this, just go to auditor's comment. You check what auditor have said about Uchumi. Then if you just do a quick Google about CMA, what they have said about Uchumi. Let me see if I can get that post. CMA Uchumi. Let me see if I can get that. Yes, it is. They have already enforced on their auditors because of misreporting. I think they did a misreporting. Let me see if I can get the other post. So that's on enforcement. Then there is. Let me just share this for CMA. It's from Kenya Wall Street. These guys, they usually get this information from reliable sources. Though whatever they post, you need to be very careful. So already they are auditors, and I think these their reporting accountant have already been fined. They should be fined a penalty of 10 million. So that tells you the auditor used to cook books. It's only that CME cannot tell you directly. So that's one red flag for Uchumi. I'm talking about Uchumi. It is here on CMA website. CMA takes enforcement action against Uchumi supermarket. Then if you go to Kenya Wall Street, where is this? CMA opens a new Uchumi governance review, the stock price. So as I've said, it is speculation, and speculation is coming from social media. So there is somewhere they said, where is that? So the enforcement will be if they don't meet the required set rules. I think CMA and NSC, they should be introduced. They should be introducing the 5% cap. I think it is here. This is what I was looking for. This statement here. So CMA will be. Let me share that link on chat. You can read it on your own. You can share with your friends, those ones who are interested in Uchumi. It says, the Capital Markets Authority has been working with NSC on a proposed recovery board that would place financially stressed firms under more restrictive framework. So It means these companies are no longer trading normally. They are within recovery board. Company moved to recovery board would face reduced daily price limit of 5%. Instead of 10%, they are limited to 5%. Why? To protect you as an investor. Enhanced disclosure requirements. That is, you have seen the financials. They look like they are already jagged up. They are putting things just to make sure balances. Just to make sure investors they see something on media. But does that mean that's what they have on their head? Then a 24-month period to restore compliance. So if that board is set, Uchumi is part of it, they only have 1 year to comply. If they don't comply, what will happen? Firms that fail to meet recovery conditions would risk suspension. So meaning you can't trade on that share. Or delisting. They are moved from NSE completely. There is a recommendation. Uchumi fits several of these characteristics without even reading. We have seen audit failures. Youngest, what is their auditors called? Ernst & Young. They are already on FRAG. Governance weakness. Already even their board in their report, they have said they may not be able, they are actually relying on rentals. And I think the case with KDF for the RAD they own, I think, is it Ruaraka or Ruaka? And that one, they are already in, is it Supreme Court, which they might lose. They are also in deficit. They are on losses. So for those who are buying Uchumi, I really feel for them, because when it is delisted, they might lose their capital, the money they put in. If they are to sell right now, most of them they'll be selling at a loss. So those people who are just hyping the market, just reach that market noise. You move to stable stocks, move to dividend stocks. Don't chase the prices. I think with that, I may have exhausted all the questions. Unless there is any other burning question, I would want to edit there. Then we meet on Wednesday. I'll post trainings for Wednesday for stock market and then for international market. Those ones, I think they usually have a lot of people coming in, so you can join. This today, it's because I knew for Safaricom, because of that minimum 50,000, with the way the economy is, not everybody can afford, but we always say whatever is there is what we can take. So apply the board, use interest to buy shares. With that, okay, you can put on the chat before I drop. You can put the question on the chat. If you have the question, but you can reach out on my WhatsApp number. That's why I put that screen, just in case you want to take up my WhatsApp number. And I'll post the link for this recording on the Teams meeting. If you're able to see the charts, previous charts, if you go to that link, you check whether you can see previous charts. I'll be able now to post tomorrow or today at night. You should be able now to see the recording. So thank you so much. Let's meet next time.